Yeah. Oh, somebody here. Gnomes, can you hear us? Okay. Oh, we're clear so far. Thank you. I hope it stays that way. There we go. Yep, you can hear us good. Excellent.
Okay, well, take two. Fingers crossed. Hello, hello, it's Friday.
Do you want to list the other one? Yeah, take that one offline right away. And we'll get ready for our guests. I'll start getting Twitter open and stuff like that. We'll bring them on right away. Okay. Here we go. Just bear with us for a second, guys, while we get everything set up. So you see, it wasn't our internet. It's proof again right away. It's just the server here, and this is a common problem. It really, really sucks. But like I say, when you're getting it for free, it's pretty hard to go and complain to them for a money-back guarantee. But I'm so glad you guys could make it over. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay, now thank you again for holding on with us. And Andrew said it wasn't on our end this time, and fingers crossed. And thank you for jumping the links.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Are we up at all?
You're on. You're live.
Yeah, but are you?
Yeah, we're here. Sorry, Xenia's just getting the rest of the stuff ready because you're going to tweet it out again, huh?
Yeah. That's why. So.
Yeah, no, this is a common problem with YouTube, and like I said, they're kind of tight-lipped. But once you start reading through the threads and that, it's been happening a lot, especially the last couple of months because of Apocalypse. Everybody's jumping on the live stream wagon.
Yeah, that's true.
And that.
There's so many live streams I can't make, half the ones I want to make.
Yeah, I know that is an issue. You're not the only one. Even us as well. I feel so guilty sometimes, but it's just impossible to catch them all.
Well, it's like when we go live, I try to go on at 5:30 on a Saturday night, so we don't go on when you guys are on.
Oh, no. I appreciate that, though.
Well, that is nice. That's awfully respectful. Thank you so much. It was the same as us when we picked this time because there were some big streams going on, so we picked the 8 to 10 slot kind of thing. So we wouldn't have a bunch of conflicts in that. So.
Well, and then also we deal with, you have different time zones. And so if you go on at 5:30, it's starting to be cocktail time on a Saturday night. And
that's right.
In California. Well, they do it all the time. But, and then it's, everybody's about ready to go out on the East Coast and stuff. And, we have a lot of people from the UK that watch us. And so, it's about an 8-hour, 7-hour difference and stuff. So they're just getting home from the bars.
That's right. It works out for everybody. It is a good time. The 8 is a problem for our UK. And as you've seen, sometimes we have guests even from the UK. And that's hard on them because they only start at like 20 after 1 in the morning their time, for us.
Yeah, the other night when my Japanese lifestyle UK, what time was it there when he was on?
Well, UK is 5 hours time difference. So when we were done, he was on till 4:30 in the morning.
Bless his heart.
So excited. We were telling him a couple of times, like, we feel so bad, and he was enjoying himself, and he was the one running with it. But it's like, wow, he's a trooper.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. We'd be drinking morning coffee.
Oh, we were already doing it us, so I can only imagine him. It's so good to have you on.
It's great to be here. We've looked forward to this, definitely.
This is a long time coming.
Yes. We've been so busy lately. It's being summertime and stuff, things start ramping up for me at work. And because I actually work at a university, so everybody's not as busy as they normally are. So they all start coming my way because I'm a software developer for one of the major universities here. So.
Oh, wow.
So it's my busy time.
I can imagine. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you do? I mean, whatever, I know you were for school, so you don't have to go into whatever details you don't want to, but can you just in general a little bit?
Yeah, so I work for one of the major universities here in Colorado. I've been in academia most of my career. I've been, I mostly do programming and network administration, but I've also been adjunct faculty over the years. And I'm actually originally a geophysicist, and I left that career several years back when our kids were young because I was traveling too much.
Okay.
And it was just too hard to be a mom, parent, and, being in a Texas oil field,
Yeah.
And so I decided I needed a desk job, and I was already doing a lot of programming and teaching programming. And so I just kind of took the plunge and just went in 100% into IT and been there ever since.
That's a really cool
story. So kind of hence that.
I got to ask Mr. Martini. I feel bad for him. He's been sitting there so patiently, and I wanted to get to hear from him a little bit, just about whatever you'd like to talk about, sir.
Oh, they told me not to quit my day job, so
he's the comic relief of the two of us.
Yeah, I could be a bit sarcastic. I work for a large builder. We are overbuilding Denver at the moment.
Really?
Tons and tons and tons of apartments. The building industry right now, construction industry is crazy here in Denver. It's crazy in a lot of cities and on the West Coast right now anyway, but Denver's just crazy. If you could pick up and bring us 50,000 construction workers tomorrow, we could put every damn one of them to work.
Yeah, so if there's anybody out there.
Not a problem.
There you go, guys. You've heard it here first.
Booming along with it, so.
And you never know. Could be somebody sitting in the audience right now that's been looking for that thinking of that opportunity. So there you go.
Amazing. We have construction job fairs here monthly.
Wow, that's amazing.
We recruit right out of the major universities for a lot of our project engineers and our engineers. But yes, it's sun up to sundown kind of work around here right now.
That's good. That's good. Strong economy. So it's a good thing to have.
It beats the alternative in the building industry because it's a boom bust industry.
That's right. There's no in between on this.
You're booming or you're busting. So
and you'd rather be on the boom side for sure.
Did you guys get hit with that?
Right now, yeah, big time Montreal. Because of course Quebec, there was years where it wanted to separate from Canada and all that stuff, and now the newer generations kind of backed away from all that. And now all of a sudden there's this kind of like explosion of growth, and we're an island, so it's hard to build any more than what they've already got. So Montreal's kind of like Boston, about the same size, same kind of like it's not dispersed like Toronto in those areas. It's very condensed city because of the spacing. So yeah, there's a lot going on. They're tearing up the whole highway system, kind of like the Boston Big Dig. We got that going on right now. They've tearing up all the major highways around the city coming into it. So it's been a nightmare for a couple of years but it's got to be done.
Well, weren't you saying the other night that they were encouraging people to have lots of kids in the area?
Yeah.
So you'd have people be on the side of the splitting of the country.
Yeah, that's right. That was the whole plan. That was like 20 years ago. Like I'm 44, and I can remember when I was first starting, when they really started pumping the money into the people. Was the whole point was to try and build up the yes vote, I guess you call it.
Right.
It didn't really work out for them. Most of the women were starting then to get more work out of the house, and they actually got offended by it, so it kind of backfired. But by then they'd already said they would give them money. So it's but there are lots. Don't worry, there's some that are having kids that shouldn't, and it's mostly because of that check coming in.
Well, there's actually something on the California ballot right now where they're talking about splitting the state into 3 different states. But since I was born, they've talked about that, and it still hasn't happened. So
at least they're down from 6 to 3 parts now. So
I have heard that it's been like 200 and some occasions where they actually tried doing it since the creation of states.
It's been discussed
so to say.
and
yeah,
stuff like that, gone through
discussed 200 and some times. That's crazy.
That's the thing, is that there's somebody was telling me today there's a constitutional law that you can create states, but you can't split them apart, which I don't quite, that must have happened after Virginia divided and the Carolinas. That must have been made a law, because, you know, it's happened before. So, but yeah, it won't happen. Time. They can't divide the infrastructure, and it's always water. Water's always the issue.
Yeah,
especially in California.
Comes from here.
They use it there.
And I mean, water's a pretty pure resource in California.
Yeah, well, Colorado River starts in our Rocky Mountains here. And matter of fact, I don't know if you've ever seen the picture that we have on our page of the Martini with a rainbow going into it. The background of that is Grand Lake, and that's where the Colorado River starts.
Oh, wow.
And they're saying that, what is it, 20 years from now, if that Colorado River is going to be all dried up because California is taking too much.
It currently supports 7 million people.
Yeah.
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, it can't last. It can't sustain itself that way. It's either desalination process or start pumping deeper and hoping to find something, because it can't sustain the way it's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Desalination plants. All the other countries use them. We don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. That's right.
And they don't have enough reservoirs in California.
Yeah, so when they do get the rain, they just complain everything floods. Because
that's right. They're never happy in that part for that one. And I mean, the pictures of those reservoirs, I mean, some of them I've seen have gone down almost like a quarter mile from where they used to be.
Yeah, Lake Mead, it's ridiculous. Lake Mead, which is Nevada, they keep having to move the docks further to the center of the lake because they're drawing down so much water. Because that's so close to Los Angeles that you can just go there for the weekend. So there's so many people that they're catering to on a weekly basis, and I just can't sustain that.
That's it. It's not just the population; it's the heavy tourist sector as well. When you put those two together, and I mean, the tourist sector is all based. It's funny they go to one of the hottest places to play in the water the most. You know, when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, we build all our golf courses in the desert, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you can't use the groundwater there because it's contaminated from all the nuclear testing that they did in the 50s.
That's true. Very good point.
Little geophysics for you.
A very good point. You're 100% right. I love that. And it's true. Like, I mean, we're squeezing it right to the max, way past the max.
Yeah.
Look at South Africa right now, what they're going through in water shortages. And I mean, that's just a glimpse of what can happen.
Oh, I didn't know they were.
Oh, yeah. They're on heavy, tight. Maybe it was just lifted, because I shouldn't say that. It's been about 3 weeks. But for a good couple of months, they were on heavy water rations and stuff like that. And they were planning their reservoirs to go right down to the point they couldn't barely pump it.
Wow.
You know? And these are developed countries. We're not talking, you know, like the usual stories of Africa, these places. Now we're really getting into developed countries. It's happening.
I've never been there. Have you ever been there?
South Africa, no. I've done Europe, but never South Africa.
Because you guys have traveled a lot. You show a lot of great pictures of your.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to go to States more. Andrew has been to States more when he was driving a truck a lot, and before that as well. I haven't been to States too much. Northern States a little bit, but just for a drive or so. I would love to go more down maybe this summer. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We got to see more of it. So I showed her Canada. She's only missing one province. She's missing Newfoundland. So it's time to do more of the States now.
Yeah, I've only been to Calgary.
Oh, well, the oil business, that's not surprising.
I was actually there for the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
So Down the Rabbit Hole says that we should transition into, if we drink more martinis, we won't waste as much water.
She's always thinking out of the box. That's a Calgary girl. She's from Calgary, so there you go.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
drink less water, drink more martinis. I think I'll make a t-shirt.
So there you go. See, I love these collabs like this. We got a think tank going on now.
Yeah, like the rabbit hole was saying, let's save water by drinking martinis instead.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we have a motto that martinis are tasty pools of vodka.
I like that.
I love how you guys do that. The lifestyle thing is just as great as everything else. It brings it all together, what you guys do.
Well, thank you. Well, we started this about 2 years ago. You know, Pat used to make everybody lemon drops. We entertain a lot. We have people over, and we're the hostess with the mostest, I guess. And he would always make lemon drops, and everybody just loved them. And then we started kind of making different kinds of lemon drops and different martinis. And then next thing we knew, people were always asking us to bring them. And we kind of put my cooking talents and his shaker talents together and started coming up with some really neat concoctions, you know, simple syrups and neat ways of making things. And we just decided one day to do a book. And so we've been working on the book, which we're hoping will be out this summer. And so we've been on social media for some time, and I've been wanting to be on YouTube for quite some time, but I just finally took the plunge just recently.
Well, you're doing really good. You just hit 1,000, right? Just 2 weeks ago?
Yes, we're about ready to hit 1,100.
Yes,
So
that's right.
Once the book officially comes out, we'll be professional alcoholics. We'll be getting paid to do this.
Oh my God. Is the book available for a pre-order? I just dropped a link to your website with your announcement for the book. Is it available?
I don't have it set up for pre-order yet, but I was planning on doing that. So we're hoping that it will be out by July. The formatting's getting finished right now. So the book is written. It's just getting all the layouts and all that formatting done and stuff. So
in her defense, the book would have been done months ago had it not been about alcohol.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna cry.
If it would have been cookies we were sampling, we'd be much heavier, but the book would be done.
I like that. Well, that's a good excuse. So we're going to follow you on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, of course, and your website to see updates when the book is going to launch. Let us know for sure, please. We want to know too.
We appreciate that. So,
would you guys like to make a drink?
We would like we would like to see you making a drink. We are today.
Okay, well, you can be here in spirit. That's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to do this one. If you don't mind, we're going to dedicate it to Neil from Halo and Heathens because it's his birthday today.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday. I forgot about that.
We have to sing him. We all have to sing him happy birthday after. Get the drink ready, then we'll do it.
So Pat's gonna, since the lemon drop is what started it all, that's what he's gonna show you how he makes it.
Absolutely.
So
we found a long time ago when we first started doing this that the best ingredients to use are fresh ingredients. We try to keep it basic. If it requires one of the ingredients we're going to use tonight, simple syrup, we simply make our own simple syrup because simple syrup's nothing but sugar water that's been cooked or warmed until it forms a syrup. When you do this on your own, you can use organic sugar, you can use baker's sugar, whatever taste and simplicity you want it to serve. And what I mean by that is baker's sugar dissolves very quickly under very little heat. You could make it in the sun, where a organic sugar requires a lot more to actually break down. It hasn't been processed. So we do make our own simple syrup. I'm going to take 2 ounces of that and add it to my shaker here.
So this is baker's sugar. You can get it like where regular sugar is sold.
It's a very, very fine-grained cane sugar. So that was 2 ounces of simple syrup made out of the baker's sugar and 2 ounces of Citron vodka, equal parts. You can never go wrong in a martini. Right. With that, we use a squeeze of lemon, and you could actually just throw the lemon in there. It'll get shaken up nicely. I've got a cup of ice in the shaker already. I'm going to shake it up and pour us a couple drinks.
So you can hear me over the shaking. Yep. So normally you rim your glass sugar. So
I love this man so much.
Stop.
What? Okay, it's done. I love using a metal shaker because it's nice and cold.
So normally Patrick will take like a lemon and do the rim around the lemon, and then you dip it in like a plate of sugar. And sometimes we crush lemon drop candies.
That's the best. I get the lemon drop candies from the old-fashioned store, put them in a plastic bag, and beat them in the pulp with a mallet.
People love your parties. I can tell why you guys are the hostess of the most.
I love them. I want to go.
Reading my mind.
The girls in our neighborhood love our martinis so much that we have this party where it's called the Girls in the Hood. And we go to each other's houses and make martinis on the way. So everybody we start with our house with our martinis, and we go to somebody else, and then the last house is always like a dessert martini.
Oh my God.
We've converted the entire neighborhood.
That's amazing.
So
I
that's
bet the real estate prices have risen too.
Really simple ingredient
going on because of the martinis.
Equal portions. You can see a little bit of the lemon floating around in there, a little bit of the ice. Very refreshing. It's like lemonade on steroids.
So cheers to Neil's birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neil. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
And many more. As we call them.
We're virtually giving you a martini to drink.
I love it.
Amazing. I have two questions actually. One is from me and one is from the chat. One is how do you make that simple syrup? What is the parts of water and sugar? And the other one was from the chat. How much does it cost around for you to make it at home like that?
Well, simple syrup's really expensive in the store. You get a real small, like sherry bottle of it at the grocery store, and it's probably about $5 or $6.
Is it really that much?
Yeah.
We've made it for so many years. I don't
Yeah, you kind of forget.
Sometimes you can find it at Safeway for under $4. But again, it's a real small bottle. I make it by the mason jar, so it's quite effective for us. I would say pennies per drink.
Really?
So what do we got?
So this is 32 ounces. It's a quart jar. I don't know what that is in metrics.
Okay.
Actually, it's on the back here.
Where they are with sugar.
So I have to put my glasses on to see where it is.
There.
So that's 8 ounces. So 1 cup.
1 cup of sugar, and then I basically top it off with filtered water. The best way to warm it, it's summer here. Set it out in the driveway in the hot sun. Go out occasionally, turn it over, shake it a little bit. You can also add fresh fruit into this mixture while you've got it out in the driveway brewing.
Really?
Put fresh strawberries in it. If I know I'm going to make lemon drops, I actually put lemons in the water. You can see them floating in that one.
Oh, nice.
But it's just as easy to put raspberries, strawberries, and let it cook in with your simple syrup. And then when you want to make a drink, all you have to do is add vodka. So it works out really well.
Yeah, it's like an instant drink. And we have this in our book. We came up with this. Growing up in California, we always made sun tea. And so we throw some bags and some water into a big container and throw it out in the sun. And by the end of the day, you had tea. So I had this.
Well, you have what you thought was tea.
Yeah.
They don't sweeten their tea. Okay. So it's a whole nother subject. I come from the South, Georgia, where we make sweet tea.
Right.
Brew it the same way, but with a cup or two of sugar added to it. So it turns into more of a syrup, and that kind of leads into what we're talking about here with simple syrup. It's really easy to get the sugar to not only dissolve, but form a syrup with a little bit of heat. If you're in a hurry, microwave works. Do it like you would a cup of coffee, but then you have to wait for it to cool. But again, infusing it with the fruit's the best thing.
Yeah, it's the best.
We infuse both our simple syrups, and a lot of times we infuse our vodka as well, which is going to lead me to our next drink here in a minute. Last night I took a bottle of vanilla vodka, very good vanilla vodka. I don't like the cheap one. And I inserted 15 Cherry Jolly Ranchers candies into vanilla vodka with the purpose of making cherry vanilla vodka so that you can make other drinks like a cherry vanilla soda, things of this nature.
It's like Italian sodas.
Yeah, so you can do so much with it. I just like keeping it in the freezer. You come home from a hard day, you have an instant drink. You just pour a shot of it. It's cold. It's sweet. It's definitely alcoholic. And have a serving of that, or you can mix other things in it to make a cherry soda, or what one of the recipes in our book calls for a cherry bomb, which is a cherry martini. And maybe we can get to that another day.
Yeah. So. We make that with cherry syrup and vanilla vodka, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, berry vodka is, and it's really, really good. And we call that the cherry bomb.
I know what I'm going to be listening to after tonight. We play this, and it's going to be, we got to get this. We got to get this. We got to get this.
Well, we'll have to try this.
Yeah.
I will have to try this. We're going to get all of the ingredients, and then I'm going to be trying.
There you go.
We're going to be reviewing their book before it's launched.
Well, if you go to our channel, we have not only liquor, but we also have other lifestyle stuff. But the liquor ones are always called Cocktail Time. And it always has Patrick and I as the thumbnail. And so we try to do about 2 martinis, a live stream. We really don't have a set schedule because we're such busy people, but we do like to try to come on at 5:30 on Saturdays so we can prepare for the night.
Well, you can start with it. And you guys are really comfortable with the camera. Like you're really comfortable with it. It's a pleasure to watch you.
Oh, thank you.
That's because she's drunk most of the time. Believe me, I usually have to finish her drinks, but
if I win the lottery or I win plane tickets, I want to go drink with you for a night.
You're always welcome. What's funny is we really don't drink that much. I mean, we really don't. We just
a couple times a week, maybe.
It's like, fine. Like we look at this as like a good glass. People come home and have a nice glass of wine, and I don't drink that much wine, and so we have a martini here and there, and we usually just we drink on the weekends, and that's about it. But
were you here with us a couple of weeks ago when we had craft beer pours on Saturday night?
I missed it. Yeah. I missed it.
See, we hadn't drank since Christmas. We don't drink much. We don't wave any flags yet. It just works out that way. So I went to buy beer, and I said, okay, well, I'm not going to buy Budweiser or anything because they like more crafted beers. And I'm like, okay. So I bought this. In Canada, one thing, especially Quebec, has really strong beers. So I bought this Tasters pack, and every one of them is like 8-9% every bottle and more. So we started putting those away and started chugging some of them, and it made for interesting television. Everybody had a good time.
No, I rather prefer cocktails. Like really, if I would choose to drink anything, I would rather have cocktails and like something different, interesting, sweet with syrups and things like that. I know you rather prefer clear things, and it's just more. I think I always see it more as a dessert thing, although it might not be very sweet. It's still more like a treat, not like an alcoholic drink.
Exactly.
I agree. I'd much rather have a martini after dinner than a piece of cheesecake.
Yes. And it's healthier.
I can have both.
That's right.
Pass that down. So,
by the way, is there a cheesecake martini?
I don't think we know one.
Not currently in our book. No,
I'm on it.
There's a lot of different ones, not a cheesecake.
But we do have a gummy bear one.
inside the box.
Yeah, you have so many of them too. It's amazing. How can you come
out of all the candies that you infuse alcohol with, you don't want to use gummy bears.
Yeah.
We've gone down that road. The bone marrow just doesn't break down well in the alcohol, and it makes a really disgusting looking syrup. And now you don't want to go there.
But you can make drunken gummy bears. So if you soak them in vodka, they
swell up.
They swell up, and then you can eat them. And and they're called drunken gummy bears. But melting them in vodka to make them infuse in the vodka, we tried it. It's like
old fashioned hard candy works really well.
Yeah,
really, it breaks down that well when you melt it.
Oh yeah, it just turns into sugar and cornstarch.
You don't even have to melt it. You just show them. You just
they dissolve in the liquid
completely.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this has been 24 hours.
Yeah,
and it's already come out of the freezer. It's nice and cold. Again, it started out as vanilla vodka, and because I wanted that cherry vanilla flavor, and smells like vanilla alcohol. That's kind of what we were going for here. So, again, it's great chilled as a shot, or you can mix it into different drinks. Definitely takes the edge off of a hard day.
That was like 3 ounces.
Nah, really good.
I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I. Out of it.
Why would I do that? That is the drink. Cherry vanilla vodka.
Oh my god, that was funny.
Chilled.
Maybe I'm gonna start doing food coloring in water so we can like they do on regular TV.
That was just shot right back like nothing. I thought he was gonna taste and smell. Nope, right to the right. I like a man who cuts at the middle, man. Good for you.
Like I said, we don't really drink much here, just a couple times a day.
Yeah, so well. I think we killed Andrew.
So funny.
That was unexpected.
Once again, you've guaranteed a place in the best of Puša Studio live streams with that one, so I promise you.
You just love live streams.
Oh my god, that was funny. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, but no, but it's so nice. Like, I like the way you guys take it, because I mean, some people say, "Oh, I'm a mixologist," and they're just playing around their house, and oh, look, I've mixed, I don't know, beet juice with whiskey, and you guys actually really though do take it to the next level, and try to really understand the science behind it and blending and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Well, thank you, and we also like in our live streams like to kind of present like the history behind what we're doing, and I had one of our watchers say, she goes, I worked in a liquor store for 10 years and I don't even know a quarter of what you're talking about. It's like I've learned every time I've watched. So we really research and, the things that we're doing, like we did a whole thing on the Solo Cup the other day and, how it started and, what the lines meant or the myth of the lines, and when like triple sec started and who developed it and things like that. Things that the average person doesn't really know.
Yeah, it is a part of history. And I mean, it's names that we all know a lot of, but don't know, like you say, much behind it. So.
A lot of tied with pop culture as well. I mean, with the times that they kind of came up with different cocktails and things. So
definitely.
Exactly. And there's like some really bizarre history, like brandy used to be used in thermometers instead of mercury.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Huh.
I'll tell you as soon as I research it, but
how long ago was that? Like what period or what area was that done?
Monks used to use the brandy, and we all know monks love brandy.
Yes.
And they used to use
prerequisite to being a monk.
Yeah,
exactly.
Must love God and brandy.
Yeah, you got God. We love God. That's great. Now put the brandy.
friars and beer then, I guess.
That's right.
Friars.
Well, you know, one of the best things about writing this book was we got to go to a lot of craft distilleries. Great craft distilleries in the U.S. and Colorado has found a real niche as well with the craft distilleries. Craft beer is still big here. We have probably 7 or 8 breweries alone in our small little town here. But what's more amazing, we actually have 4 or 5 distilleries that have popped up in our town that are craft distilleries that do small batch quality alcohol. And they usually have a bar attached to them so that they can disperse their distilled goods, and they also sell them in the stores nearby. But going to some of the beautiful Colorado towns and touring distilleries has been really fun. One of my favorite is Woods Distillery in Salida, Colorado. Beautiful, sits right off the Arkansas River. Nice little town in the mountains. Absolutely beautiful distillery, and he puts out some really good gin, vodka, and bourbon. There's a lot of other ones as well.
Gin's starting to make a comeback, the last couple of years.
Yeah.
More.
Not just to clean your bathtub anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, not a big gin guy. I love vodka, so most of the martinis you're going to find in our books are vodka martinis.
And we have gin ones too, but
there's a few gin ones. We've got the James Bond, of course, the 007.
The best bet.
But like gin was for a while was like, oh, that's my grandmother's drink, and but now the young people are kind of getting a taste for it again.
Right. Well, matter of fact, in the beginning of our book, we say our recipes are not your grandparents' martinis.
Yeah.
So leave the olives and onions back in the store.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's
for our generation. What was that story about gin in England?
Oh, well, most people know about it. We learned about it in grade school. They're
teaching you about gin in grade school.
They taught us about
That's why he drinks like he does. I like it.
Well, I understand Georgia.
I love this.
Gin's just moonshine with all elderberry.
That's right.
Yeah, elderberry. Yeah,
that's right. Elderwood. No, it was the gin epidemic in Great Britain that we learned about, how they had an epidemic with gin, quite like America had with crack in the late 80s and 90s, where it just did not mix well with the British chemistry in one's body. They were very easily addicted to gin, and gin wreaked a lot of havoc in that country. Absolutely, you can Google gin epidemic in Great Britain or London,
and that was like the late 1800s. Wasn't it?
They had it. It affects British people a little differently, much like alcohol.
Well, if your biology fact is right, then we're screwed because we both have British background blood.
Don't let her near the gin.
Jeez.
Was it somehow in any way connected with like disease outbreaks in the late 1800s, and that was the way they were kind of trying to get?
I wouldn't know. That was the extent of my 8th grade education.
I'm still grade school gin.
You know, we learned about the rum from the West Indies.
The rum runners.
Yeah, well, we used to get a lot of good rum in Florida and Georgia. It would just wash up in crates.
In Montreal, like we have Molson breweries, and that was just looking up the time to make sure I had it right. That's the oldest brewery that's still going since 1786.
They brew a good beer. I've had many.
Yeah, because now it's been in the States. It's further down, and they were bought up by Coors in 2005.
I think my favorite Canadian beer would probably be Moosehead.
Oh, real? Oh, you're an East Coast kind of guy. Yes, yes.
My mother was a New Yorker. I was born in Virginia, but I did grow up in Georgia. So it was frowned upon with the rednecks, you know, when you crack the Canadian beer, but they get over it shortly.
Beer. It kind of brings everybody around in the end, doesn't it? And we have the Whiskey Trench, which comes over the St. Lawrence River, and there's Sleeman, where they did oh my God almighty, the whiskey Canadian Club.
Right.
And that was the richest manufacturer of alcohol in the world, thanks to you guys in the States having the prohibition.
Oh, absolutely. It's bringing it across to Detroit, right?
And that's true. That's how it got funded. It became the biggest in the world.
Weren't we talking about that the other night?
Yeah.
How the best liquor came from Canada
Yeah,
during Prohibition.
All the good hooch came from Canada.
Yeah, on our live stream, we were talking about how a lot of these mixed drinks came from Prohibition because of the sugary drinks, because they would cover up the horrible taste of all the liquor that was coming out of the States.
Yeah, a lot of it was cut. They would put things to extend the liquor in it, just all kinds of nasty crap. So they would use the sugar to hide it, the juices to hide it. And not only that, but you could water down drinks better with juices if somebody orders something in that nature. So you're selling more alcohol or less alcohol for more money.
Well, it was the same techniques that are used with illegal drugs today. It was used the same way back then. The whole point was to maximize your profits at anything possible. People got poisoned. You know, they used everything right down to turpentine, and I mean, people died from the cutting process.
Yeah, and it's still going on here in the States. They're cutting heroin with fentanyl.
Yes,
it started in Vancouver, and now it's kind of coming this way already as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, so people do anything to make an extra buck, I guess.
It is, yeah. It doesn't matter about the life at the end of it. It's got nothing to do with it.
And you can imagine a lot of the alcohol that was consumed during Prohibition shortened many people's lives.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of lead poisoning because the stills, you know, were made out of lead and stuff, and there was a lot of problems with lead poisoning back then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
what it is your copper unions are sweated with lead. So if you have piping in your home that's copper, your joints will be sweated with a metallic material, and that's where the impurities come from.
That's right. Yeah, it's an unbelievable thing to think of that it went on that long. You know, it's
Ben saying that Canada always looking after the neighbors, but the good guys. Actually, Ben was asking about how to make a perfect gin and tonic.
How to make a perfect one?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I always like even proportions. So half gin, half tonic.
You know, I'm actually a gin drinker, and I can't stand a gin and tonic.
No, she's more of a gin and 7-Up. Sorry, the watchdog's going on.
Hey, dang neighbors heard we were pouring.
But you're always safe.
Actually, they're probably watching right now.
You can say hi to them. Feel free.
And hi, Ben. Now, actually, Ben, I always drink a gin and 7. Matter of fact, they always try to sneak a tonic in my gin at a bar, and it's almost like they make a mistake. They get they start putting in the 7-Up, but they in their minds it's tonic, so they'll like do one little squirt and then do the 7-Up, and they'll still try to serve it to me, and it's like
My experience is a splash of tonic is about all you need. So if you're drinking vodka and tonic or a nice stiff vodka, splash of a tonic.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Hey, Ben, you said you were going to start doing cocktails on your stream. He has this wonderful lifestyle stream. Do the gin and tonic. We'll save that one for you.
There you go.
Yeah. Ben is so good.
For myself, I find just one of the greatest drinks is Johnny Walker and 7-Up. That's my favorite summer drink on ice.
Wow.
It's basic, but it just seems to hit the spot.
Yeah, I like 7-Up as a mixer.
Yeah.
I just always have, but I've been drinking gin for so long. I think the last time I mixed something outside of gin with 7-Up, it was Southern Comfort, and that night didn't go well, so I've been drinking Southern Comfort since.
You ever had that one bad experience with alcohol that you never went back?
Well, there was
most of the time tequila comes up.
Yeah, back to the distilleries here in Colorado. We even have tequila distilleries here. We have tequila and gin and vodka.
A lot of vodka,
and bourbon,
rum.
and,
We've got Spirit Hound, which is in Lion. We mentioned them before. They make a great vodka gin. They sit right on the creek in Lion, which is, I don't know, probably 6,300 feet up. It's the beginning of the mountains there. Longmont has Long Tucky, which makes everything from a good spiced rum to their own version of moonshine, rye. Gin.
I mean, you can literally, they have these like trolley buses here that you can get on, and they'll take you from all the breweries and all the distilleries, and you can have everything from gin to rye to bourbon to vodka.
Can they carry you out to the hotel?
And then they take you back to the beginning, and you call an Uber.
Mix of everything there by the end.
When you were talking about gin, my father was a big gin drinker, and this is what he used to drink. It's called John de Kuiper, and this stuff would take off battery acid if needed.
I've had some of that.
Yeah, really like the bottle. The bottle's different than I've seen.
That's what I remember.
No, wait. That's just, it's the brand that that's that same brand that you have there with the schnapps.
Yeah.
It's called de Kuiper, this one. I forget who makes it. You wouldn't believe the price of alcohol, like in Canada. I'm going to slide. I'm going to show you what it costs for alcohol.
Oh, wait, isn't that de Kuiper? What's the name on that?
De Kuiper.
It's de Kuiper's the brand.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is Geneva. Yep.
So was that a 750 milliliter?
I believe so. I'll slide back over here. 1.14 liter. And it's $35 Canadian. So that's about what, 30 US, I guess.
Have you ever had Tanqueray's Rampur? It's
Tanqueray, but not that one.
It's really good. It's lime infused.
Oh.
It is so good.
Probably got a bottle of that for her.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's funny. Every time somebody wants to give me a gift, they give me gin. And I have like bottles and bottles. So my friends, if you're watching, don't give me any more gin.
Now we have to pause, people, because this is the part where they say we don't drink much. Okay, so
there's so much gin, I can't get through it. Yeah, this is the Rampur.
Oh, okay. I've seen the
Damn, it's almost empty. I'm shocked.
But we don't drink very much.
Just a couple times a day.
You just gotta say we entertain lots. You know?
Yeah, it's quite entertaining.
It is. We brought over Newfie Screech the other year for her uncle when we went back to Latvia, and that's a rum that they make in Newfoundland, and it's made with molasses. And what they do is when you get over there, the old tradition, you'd be in the bar and you'd say, they'd ask you, have you ever been screeched in? And when you said no, the waitress would jump up and ring this big bell, and the whole bar would gather, and they would grab a rubber boot and they'd pour it in the rubber boot, and you had to drink it from that. And then you had to kiss a codfish on the lips because all of them had fishmongers right there. You had to kiss it on the lips, and then you were screeched in, and then they would all start singing and everything and make you drink another.
Oh my God! I'd have to have a few beforehand if you were going to get me to kiss a cod.
I don't. The kissing the fish is cool, but is the boot used?
Well, now they used to, but now they use a rubber boot. It's like a kid's one, and they usually like tape in a double shot glass inside of it.
Oh, thank God!
And now there's more fish to kiss, so it's a rubber one because they stopped the fishery, so you're safe.
So now there's 3 things in life that I need a drink before I do. One of them is to go to the top level of the Mile High Stadium to watch the Broncos play because it's like this.
Yes.
The second one is to fly on a plane. Third one is to kiss a cod now.
God.
We'll try to get a collab. There must be somebody here from Newfoundland you can collab with to get that done.
That's in your next book. The
Yes.
Cheesecake Martini and Kiss Fish.
They're so fun over there because it's an island, and you used to go down, like even in 2005, 2006, and you would show up. I'd have to go over for meetings sometimes, and I would know nobody. And I'd be sitting at a bar, and within 4 hours, I was going back to a house party with 40-some people. Like, just the funnest, kindest, most amazing. Well, that's where the planes landed when 2001 with the World Trade Centers. They were all rerouted to Gander, Newfoundland, which is just north of all of that, but still there's that kind of sediment the whole way through the province. They're really nice people.
You know, I was actually from the Pentagon that night.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I witnessed it. It was the most bizarre day of my life. And I was stuck in Washington, D.C. for what, a week? About a week?
Like 10 days.
Yeah, about 10 days.
They wouldn't open the airport, let anyone in or out.
Every car, every train, everything that was, look to get you out of the city was just taken and gone. People were like 5 people were renting a car together just so they could get out of the area and stuff. But I was stuck there unless I was going to walk home.
It was like that movie with John Candy, which you can appreciate, being Canadian and all. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Complete strangers were renting cars and trying to get back across country.
Yeah.
It was quite crazy. Even renter trucks and U-Hauls and anything you can imagine with wheels. Was rented out.
Yeah, it was probably the strangest week of my life and stuff, and very depressing, of course.
No, I understand. That's why I don't want to bring it up too much. But yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow, I don't know what to say. You really threw me for a loop there.
Well, it's funny because well, it's not funny, but I was actually going over.
Ironic.
I was ironic.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going over to the Pentagon because when I was a geophysicist, I worked for the Navy, so I did a lot of work, and I just had never gone to the homeland, the Pentagon, and I wanted to go take a tour. And I was there for a conference, and my conference got canceled, and the Twin Towers must have just happened because I came from upstairs and I was watching Good Morning America, and nothing was going on in New York, and it was like 7:30 or something. So we all went down for a continental breakfast, and not one word was being spoken about. Nobody knew that this was going on, and it was all happening while we were having continental breakfast.
Jeez.
So then we were starting our sessions, and when I went up, my session had been canceled. And so I was like, well, what am I going to do now? My next session is not until like 10 o'clock. So I thought, I'll go across the street to the Pentagon and take a tour. So I went up to the concierge, and I'm asking her if she could set up a tour for me. And this girl comes up and goes, your session got canceled. Go to this other one with me. I think you'll find it really interesting, and talked me into it. So I went with her instead of going to the Pentagon.
Wow.
We literally walked over to this room, and as we're talking, he's calling me, but the session's starting at the same time. This is all happening at the same time. And I put it to voicemail. He kept calling me. He put it to voicemail because he tried to tell me, get out of Washington. The planes are going into the Twin Towers, and there's one heading your way. And so, but I'm trying to have a conversation with these people in the room, and it was about ready to start.
She never takes my calls.
I was gonna, on a normal day, if this wasn't going on, I know
that's my husband.
Yeah, click. And so,
damn country's falling down around her.
So
it's just my husband.
So this girl in front of us turns around and goes, "Did you hear about the Twin Towers? A plane crashed into it." And we're all thinking a Cessna, some guy, crashed into the Twin Towers by accident. And as she's telling us that, the phone's ringing, and all of a sudden you hear this plane going over us, and it's restricted airspace. So I'm thinking to myself going, why is that plane going over us? Because it was really loud, and you can tell it was low. And then all of a sudden this mushroom, you could see the 3 top floors of the Pentagon from the window. And all of a sudden this mushroom cloud just comes up from the Pentagon, the room shaking like it's an earthquake. So we think they're dropping bombs, because we don't really know anything. We don't know anything about the Twin Towers. And so everybody's running into the basement. And so I ran over to my friend's session, and I'm in the doorway going like this, trying to get everybody out of there. And it took about, in the meantime, I'm calling him thinking it's the last time I'm ever going to talk to him, because there's literally, I think, a bomb being dropped across the street from me. And so he's trying to tell me what's going on. I'm trying to tell him, because he knows nothing about the Pentagon. I know nothing about the Twin Towers. And we're like, wait, what? And I'm thinking this is the last time I'm ever going to talk to my husband. And then we got cut off.
Yeah.
We got cut off.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
All the cell phone towers just got jammed with phone calls.
So, but yeah, then the airport got emptied. They closed down the airport, and everybody came into our hotel. And so everybody, it was actually this great community of people. Everybody brought people into their rooms, because there was no place for anybody to stay. And so, you know, you'd have like 5, 6 people in your room, you know, stewardesses and, you know, pilots and passengers, because there were no hotels for quite some time. So it was, and the hotel was wonderful. They put up food up in the ballrooms for us and fed everybody. It was, you know, because everybody was in shock. You know, it's just everybody was walking around in shock the whole time. So, but anyways, that was kind of a downer. So sorry.
I really appreciate, honestly, and I mean this sincerely, I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Really do.
I'm sorry you had to experience that.
Yeah.
But
it took me a long time to get on a plane again, and I had to get on a plane to come home.
Right.
At the time, you were really scared of everybody around you.
Right.
And so you were really looking at everybody that was on that plane. You were scared that somebody on that plane, was not who they were.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I was on one of the first planes out of Baltimore, and it was the scariest flight of my life. And so it took me a long time to start flying again. And I'm fine now, but every so often I just, you know, need gin to get on the plane.
Because that's why I was gonna, because at the beginning you were talking about going to Calgary and all these places and traveling. And then when you said a while ago, my 3 things I want to do before the codfish, one was to get on plane. And I'm like, okay, that's where, but this all explains it. So I'm glad you did tell me about it. So right away.
But I fly now. I don't have problems with it and stuff. It was, you know, it was more so not the plane, but the people on the plane that was.
There was a real heightened suspicion of everyone in there. I mean, it was at a point where if you looked foreign or had a funny name, you weren't getting on the plane.
No, exactly. No.
Well, they were trying to get the pilots where they needed to be, and being one of the first planes out of Washington, we had a lot of pilots on the plane. And so when I saw there were pilots, I was like, guys, can I
multiple people who can fly the plane? We're in good shape.
You knew that they were, you know, that they were safe people, and you were like, can I sit with you guys? I'm really stressed out and really nervous and stuff, you know, and they were really nice about it. And I was actually with a girlfriend, and that helped, you know, kind of binding together, because we just experienced the whole thing together.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I was there.
That's a really incredible story.
So
they're actually doing what is it, off Broadway or on Broadway right now?
Yeah.
With Gander, Newfoundland, that the story of the planes landing. There's a Broadway show going on right now.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's put that on the bucket list.
Yeah, I'm still trying to picture how that all goes in my head as a Broadway play, but
yeah, no. Hey, Pink Floyd could pull it off.
Yes, that's right. That is true.
That does it. Time for another drink.
Yeah, if the Who could put talk together.
I'm gonna make us a gummy bear martini. Yeah, but I'm not putting any gummy bears in this, nor will I garnish my drink
it's
with
supposed to taste like a gummy bear.
Okay.
No gummy bears were harmed during the making of this drink.
Can you imagine an evening with them, like just drinking?
I'm so looking forward. Like, I will have to somehow plan this out, but I can't wait.
Well, we know where all the good watering holes are. You know, who knows? It could be a tax write-off.
There you go.
So I have a recipe here, but I actually doubled it just because that's what I do. I'm going to use 2 ounces of raspberry vodka.
You should put your thing over here so people can see. Oh, you can put it on top
Shaker.
here.
I'll put it right here. Shaker. 2 ounces of raspberry vodka. And then I'm going to put in 2 ounces of peach schnapps. I know it's starting to sound nasty, isn't it? There goes the peach schnapps.
It's actually pretty good.
Now, we're going to put in 2 ounces of sweet and sour.
But this is homemade sweet and sour. This is made with lemon and limes, fresh lemon and lime juice, fresh, not the bottled kind. We're real adamant about that. The bottled kind.
Well, the fresher the ingredients, the better to drink.
And then simple syrup put in that lemon lime juice and to make sweet and homemade sweet and sour.
That's the sweet part, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our raspberry vodka, our peach schnapps, our sweet and sour. This is actually the drink itself. You could, if you wanted, you could add a 2 shots of lemon lime soda. It's just a different twist on the recipe.
But you put it in after you shake it?
Yeah. You never shake carbonated beverages.
That's a good tip.
It doesn't work well.
I could make for a good live stream.
So feel free tonight if you want to do the exception.
Well, you know, some of our drinks that we experimented with call for whipping cream. I make I think it's a cherry soda, and it calls for whipping cream. And I learned very quickly that it's best to put in the cream after the drink's made. Same with anything carbonated. So, basic ingredients are in. We have our raspberry vodka, our peach schnapps, our sweet and sour. No gummy bears. We make that funny shaking sound again.
I wonder if you could freeze the vodka-infused gummy bears and make like shots, you know, like Jello shots, but from gummy bears.
They're supposed to taste like a gummy bear. Most of the gummy bears I eat taste completely different. And you could stick one on the rim to actually garnish the glass with your gummy bear. So
that was 1 ounce of raspberry vodka, 1 ounce of peach schnapps, 1 ounce of we did homemade sweet and sour, and then you can top it with some lemon lime soda.
That's.
Well, I tell you what I'm gonna do.
Get the sound of that.
I don't know. I'm scared.
Guys, don't go to the bathroom right now. Don't move a muscle. This could get good.
A great compliment from Benjamin. He likes your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
He's the man of fashion, so.
He is the man of fashion. Ben is.
That's a great compliment from Benjamin himself.
So I put a shot of Sprite in mine, and we'll compare the two and see which one we like the best.
Okay.
I actually, my wife bought me this shirt to go to a wedding in Mexico. What they would refer to as a Mexican wedding shirt.
That's right. It's stylish, though. Looks good with the hat and everything.
It's Benjamin approved.
It's Benjamin approved. So I'm running with if Benjamin says it's good, I'm saying it's good.
Holy shit, that's good.
Okay, I have the one without soda.
It actually tastes like a gummy bear.
That is good. Okay, here, let me try the one with the lemon lime.
Don't go far with that. I don't taste much of a difference.
That's funny, I do.
Do you? You would. Well, which one do you like best?
I think I like the one without the 7-Up.
Yeah, let me try that again.
That's an old wife's trick of always disagreeing. So they always say that. You think you're
I kind of think the 7-Up waters it down a little bit. I think I like the flavor more of that.
Yeah, the one without the 7-Up is strong.
Yeah, our book doesn't include the 7-Up, but I saw a local restaurant's recipe, and I'm like, really? Sprite? Let's give it a try.
Are you guys always on the watch out like that wherever you go? Always like you're just naturally looking to see for any variations or something new to catch your eye? Yeah,
matter of fact, I take pictures of menus.
Okay.
Places that I like their drinks, and then we try to kind of not emulate it or use it as a kind of a base of an idea and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what I do to contribute is if we go somewhere and they actually have martinis on the menu, I always make sure to have at least 2.
Just to verify, because you want to make sure.
So, there was a question: can you leave a batch of premixed drinks, or do they go bad?
They say that a martini's dead within the first 60 seconds you make it. So when it comes out of the shakers when it's best, you can make all types of mixed drinks and you can store them, and they last just fine. Martini's are best served fresh, with all the ingredients added fresh, made in front of you, and drank rather quickly. Within the 5 minutes, I would say. But your first sip out of it, when it comes out of the shaker, it's the best it's going to be.
But that's when you're icing it. So, like when I have the neighborhood Girls in the Hood, I have to make big batches of it because I'll have 20 women coming over. So I always just make like kind of a punch bowl big thing of all the ingredients mixed together. And then when I'm serving the drinks, I just ladle it into shakers with ice and then shake it up and serve it, and they're fine. So I make them, you know, I'll make them several hours ahead of time.
Okay.
And it's so when you say a martini goes bad, it's the coldness.
Well, and I'm not saying it goes bad. I'm just saying it's best served within the first 60 seconds after ice. So, hey,
well,
there's no such thing as a bad martini.
I make this cucumber martini that the neighborhood girls love, and so they always have me make it. And
yeah, that's a big hit.
Yeah, it's a real big hit. And so I have, you know, I have to make the cucumber mash, you know, ahead of time because it's time consuming because I have to put it in a blender and everything. But that will be in our book and it's to die for. We'll probably be making that one on the air.
Yeah, that's really good, but I couldn't see having too many of those.
They're sweet.
Ugh. It'd be like eating a whole bag of gummy bears. Go into diabetic shock as well.
Yeah. Alcohol poisoning, diabetic shock. Oh,
two of my favorites.
Oh, your missus is to be made in a lead tub or something like that. Cover all the bases.
Yeah.
But this one's good. We've actually never had this in a long time, so it's good.
It's been a while.
No.
The gummy bear.
The gummy bear.
I was just looking up at some of the ones that would have from up here that would be different. I mean, of course, a lot of them are pretty much the same wherever you go. One of them is that is kind of, I guess, part of the Canadian drink would be a Bloody Caesar.
Oh, what's that?
A Bloody Caesar is, here, I'll just share the screen with you. And it's basically a take on a Bloody Mary. And the biggest difference is, and I don't know if you guys have it in the States, you probably do. It's called Clamato juice, and it's tomato juice with clam.
Oh, yeah, Clamato.
Yeah.
You're putting in Budweiser down here, believe it or not.
What's that?
They're putting it in Budweiser in the States. You can get
really?
a Clamato Budweiser if you want.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard of that one before. So, yeah, it's kind of like a Bloody Mary, but it's the Clamato juice is the main ingredient. It was invented in Calgary.
Hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, which is different.
No, they
Bloody.
had a Bloody Mary.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
bacon. How the hell can you have a Bloody Mary without bacon?
Yeah, so
well, and they call it a Bloody Caesar, but no one gets hurt, right?
That's right. Well, some, I suppose, depending on the amounts.
Yes.
Just watch your back.
One of our favorite distillers here in this area, they're actually up in Fort Collins, Copper Muse. They make a bacon vodka.
Oh, man, it's awesome.
It is
good.
It's called Copper Muse is the distillery. They're out of Fort Collins, Colorado. And I don't know if it's a limited edition, but we definitely sampled it.
Yeah,
it was the bacon vodka.
Wow.
Yeah, they're one of our favorite distillers.
Well, you know, here in the States, we're fascinated with bacon and high cholesterol and heart disease.
Oh, yeah, we're all in that boat together. We're all going to have a coronary together.
We've made so many friends at the distillers and with the distillers in the area and stuff. We're hoping to start doing interviews, live stream interviews with them and tour the distilleries themselves.
That's a fantastic idea. And you guys are the perfect ones. And I mean that honestly, like you guys would do a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, thank you. We're actually doing our first one tomorrow night, but it's not going to be a live stream. We're going to the 1940s ball where everybody dresses up in 40s garb, and it's a big deal. And Boulder, and so it's out in the Boulder airfield, and so I'm afraid that we won't get good internet out there, so I'm not going to live stream it, but we're going to be interviewing Art of Spirits for a minute. I forgot who we did. The Art of Spirits.
You almost blew that one.
He's like, he's going to kill me. And they do these like 1940s paintings on their bottles, and they feature local artists, and they make bourbon and rye.
Great labels. Their labels, yeah, each label's a work of art.
And it's called the Art of Spirits.
And that's great about the new craft distillery boom that we're having too. Is the artwork on the bottles are it's almost comical.
It is.
We have a local distillery called Anvil, which is out of It's here in northern Colorado, Longmont.
Anvil, they're here in Longmont.
Okay, so we got one in Longmont, Colorado called Anvil, and they've got one that's called Grumpy's Vodka, and it's just a picture of an old grumpy man on the front of it. Oh. And then Peach Street, which is out of Palisades, which is famous for peaches here. Peach Street Vodka, they morph animals with humans. So you'll have a gentleman with a suit, and he'll have a rabbit head.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
So that's why it's goat vodka, because it's the head of a goat.
Their goat vodka is awesome. Artesian made vodka. The bottle, of course, has a man in a suit, except he has a goat head.
It's like what you become after drinking all of that, or something like that.
Just go on a distillery tour around the state.
There you go.
That's amazing. Benjamin has another great question. He was asking, what would be like top 5 drinks that every aficionado should know how to make? Or
well, if you want girls, Cosmo needs to be in your tool belt.
And then there's the liquefied panty eraser, but we'll talk about that one later.
That used to be lemon gin. We used to call that all the time. Panty
it's a man drink. Sorry.
Guys don't drink it, but they always seem to have a bottle with them for some reason. Go figure.
I'll never go in a bar in Colorado and ask for a screwdriver because they'll ask you Flathead or Phillips.
Do you realize I've been putting up with this for 31 years?
Poor lady. So you actually need to say vodka and orange juice, but that would be #1 in my arsenal of drinks. Would be vodka and orange juice, vodka and cranberry juice, vodka and cranberry with a lime twist. One of my favorites. Margarita.
Oh yeah, margarita.
You gotta know how to make a margarita.
Yeah, a good margarita with Contros.
Yeah. So basically, one drink with every alcohol. If you could cover that, I think you would be covering your 5 basic drinks.
And A. Joe made a shout out to you guys. Said that Colorado Martini, you rock. From A. Joe. He said, cheers.
Who said that?
A. Joe.
Oh.
A. Joe is the ultimate supporter.
Yes, it's great. He makes the best videos. I love the one where he's walking around the city about how people look at you when you're walking.
Yes.
I love that one.
He's got such a style to him. It's just A. Joe. It's his own style and everything. I love it.
I enjoy his videos quite a bit. So.
I
watch you.
And he's such a good supporter to everybody and a good positive guy. He's a great guy to have in your arsenal. He's a really good all-around YouTuber.
I have a question for you. You were talking that you were going to start doing interviews with people from like distilleries and things like that. I wonder, is your more long-term plan would be traveling outside of states and doing kind of that thing, like trying different drinks in different countries and.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. We've actually done that in the past. We just haven't filmed it on, video, except the tequila tasting in Cabo a few months ago. So yeah, we've done it in other states and stuff. Usually kind of local states, such as in Utah, and which is real fun to do drink sampling in because they're a pretty dry state. Well, they're not dry. They're just very strict there with their liquor laws and stuff. And you can't even walk up to in certain places. You can't even sit at the bar. They don't even have bar stools. And
where is that again?
In Utah.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of have weird liquor laws and there.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with Utah, but it is a heavily populated area with more. And they don't believe in drinking because the body is a temple and you would be polluting your temple.
Yeah.
So I'll respect that.
Although there's what's that distillery?
I'm Irish Catholic. We'll drink to that.
Same here. There you go. Half Irish, half Scottish. So take that and call it what you want.
You can tolerate it as well.
What is that TV show that we used to watch where the guy was going from different countries and trying different?
The Booze Traveler.
Booze Travelers, yeah.
Have you watched that TV show?
Yes, I have. Have you ever seen the one Drunken History?
Oh, yeah. That's a good show.
It's the funniest show.
History of alcohol.
No, it's history while you're drunk. And
it's an interesting mix.
They repeat themselves a little bit, but it's all good.
And they're usually, a star gets drunk and regurgitates a historical story. Oh my God.
Next thing you know, Christopher Columbus came over on a Boeing 747 and stuff like that. You got the wrong years for everything.
Yeah, it starts getting colorful as the show goes on.
It's definitely an interesting concept for a show. Oh, JJ, you're Irish Catholic?
Yep, so are we. We're Irish. I'm Irish, Scottish, and German and Austrian.
Same as me.
And then Patrick's and we also have English blood. And Patrick's Irish and
German and Native American and
Polish,
and
Polish and stuff. Oh. We actually have a very blonde daughter. She's very Germanly. She's very blonde, and she's 5'10".
Oh, so she is German right to the core.
Yes, yes, tall. Patrick was blonde at one time.
Why do wives find it so funny about our damn hair all the time? That I remember when you had this and you're laughing, and it's like, we die a little inside.
Came to the conclusion hair is overrated.
Yeah.
I haven't paid for a haircut in 20 years. Add it up. That's a lot of martinis.
And in the words of the Donnie Shaw show, that makes you a sexy beast. So good on you.
We only get better with age, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, we're like the good dude.
Before we let you go, I want to definitely ask you the question about how you got together, because 30 years together, it's a big accomplishment. Not a lot of people do that nowadays. So when you were telling us that you had the anniversary the other week, I wanted instantly to know, how did you meet?
Well, my sister owned an Italian restaurant in Palm Desert, California. And I was away at school and in college. And Patrick had just moved out from Georgia to Palm Desert. And he went to work he helped my sister build her restaurant and then worked the restaurant once it opened. And I came home for winter break and with my boyfriend. and my boyfriend and I
and if he's listening, he was a real punk. I'm sorry, go ahead, honey.
Okay.
Love you too.
And my boyfriend and I kind of broke up, and Pat and I just, the minute we saw each other, it was kind of love at first sight. And by New Year's, we were together. And I got my first kiss in the dry storage room of my sister's Italian restaurant.
Oh, romantic.
But it was during a party. So it wasn't during working hours.
And,
well, it's funny because we had the gentleman opening a restaurant moved down to Southern California from Canada.
He's actually from Montreal.
Yeah. And he'd invested all this money in an Italian restaurant. And he was an Italian, but he didn't know how to make a pizza. And I saw that as a real problem.
Yeah.
He was opening up a pizza place. Being the son of a New Yorker, I knew damn well how to make a pizza. Yeah. So I made him pizza one night after we finished the restaurant. The restaurant was not open yet. And we broke out his recipe, and we kind of made up some dough. And then next thing you know, he's like, hey, do you want to work here? So we were using
marry my sister-in-law while you're at it.
we were using a totally Brooklyn recipe with the dough and the pizza. Oh. We passed it off. It was good.
I sent for my things and moved to Palm Desert, and we were married 5 months later.
Oh,
and we've been married for 31 years.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So you see how we met and the way we did and everything else and all that and faster and see it's so
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I wanted to know, is if it was like a like a long get together or fast, as you just was talking about. It's amazing. It's
Oh, this woman's a saint.
Uh-huh.
The only way she could put up with me.
Here?
You guys were meant to be together. You guys were like walking destiny.
Well, we have a motto, live, laugh, and love. Live life to its fullest, laugh a lot. I mean, when the laughter stops, it's not good. And
Tell a joke.
Yeah. And it's just so important to laugh and have fun together. And, everybody always goes, communication. Well, that's great. But yes, you need to communicate. But it's really important that you have fun with each other and that you laugh and that you live. That the whole time together isn't cleaning the house and, and carting the kids around and stuff, that you actually live your life and live it to the fullest or as much as you can, and love,
Communication is great, but sometimes that gets thrown around that people want it constantly. And that's not the point when communication. It's being able to talk, but you don't have to be talking all the time, because that's usually will bring up more arguments. It's being able to enjoy each other without even having to say something sometimes is great.
Exactly. Well, Pat will attest to this. I am not a big proponent of date night. I think it's the most ridiculous concept.
It even sounds stupid.
Yeah, every night should be date night, for one thing. And so you set up this time to go out together, and it's so premeditated that it kind of takes the fun out of it. And then what do? You sit down at the table. You've been married for 31 years. So what are you going to talk about after 31 years? The kids, bills, and work.
All things that can lead into an argument if not careful.
Having a good time together. And then you go to a movie, and then you don't talk at all. And so I think it's important that, yes, you go out and do things together, but not call it date night, but, go to a festival during the day where you can actually people watch and talk about what's around you and stuff. Don't sit across the table at a fancy, dinner and not have anything to talk about. Go sit at the bar and have dinner and watch a football game together, and so you can sit there and curse the team together and
see what martinis they have.
We don't get out often because of the kids, and like we went out the other year, our son watched the kids, for instance, and we went just to a sports bar and having wings and stuff like that. And I mean, I get a lot of flack because I hate the Montreal Canadiens, so I never cheer. We're sitting in this big bar full of the fans that were playing on the screen. But it was just so fun to just do something that we don't always do. Like you say, not sit there and try. We got all kinds of time to talk when we're here about those kind of things.
No, it's just, like sometimes we grab our cinnamon buns at IKEA and we go watch planes.
Yeah, we've done that many times.
Just the two of us. Sometimes we do with kids, but sometimes we do just the two of us. Things like that. Yes, I definitely agree that the spontaneous things like more, and it's creating the experiences, not just sitting, as you said, and talking, but experiencing something.
Even
together.
with our kids, we've done that from a young age. Like I'll come home from work and let's go, and she'll have a bag in 15 minutes, and we leave for the weekend. We have no plans. We don't know where we're going. And it doesn't matter. There's always going to be a hotel somewhere if we need it. There's going to be a restaurant if we need to eat. It's the plans bog down so much that it takes all the fun out of it. And our lives are already regimented enough with kids and work and everything else. That's the whole point, is to break away from that.
Exactly. And then you end up finding yourself just talking about it. I'd rather go get some fast food and go sit on a rock at our lake down the street and watch the sunset with Patrick, then go sit in a swanky restaurant and talk about work.
Oh, so true.
I'm not a big proponent of date night.
Hobbies together is nice.
That's what this is.
This is our hobby. We do it together. We both also do a lot of photography. Denise loves wildlife photography. We have plenty of it to photograph here. Beautiful pictures in Rocky Mountain National Park, excuse me.
One of my eagle shots just won a national contest.
Oh,
ooh,
congratulations.
Nice. Yeah. Congratulations, yeah.
And then I've been playing around a little bit with drone photography, aerial photography, but so far it's been a real crash.
What drone do you have?
I got the DJI.
I have gummy bear all over me now.
I'm not going there.
This is date night, isn't it?
I have to spark.
See, women, you don't have to pay $100 for perfume. You just need gummy bear on you.
I had to update it 15 times before I flew it, but it flies now, and it's actually really nice.
Cool. Good for you. I'm looking forward to some. You got to put up some more of your videos onto it and everything.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing that.
As I get to be a better pilot.
Well, the only way you get better pilot is by doing it.
I took it down to the lake this weekend, and the birds were attacking it.
We want to get a drone, but the laws are so strict here. Like, it's almost, you can't fly anywhere.
Well, you can for a hobby, but for the business.
Exactly. Yeah. For a hobby, for recreation, as long as you assume all responsibility for any plane crashes, deaths, or anything else, you can fly anywhere you want.
Here it's $1,000 a year for insurance. The penalty for for personal is up to $5,000 Canadian. For business, the maximum penalty is $25,000.
Wow.
You can fly within not only 9 kilometers of any airport. That includes dirt tracks where a plane may take off, places where a seaplane may take off. You're not allowed to fly around animals. Nobody knows if that means a bug or a moose. They still haven't. They just literally said animals.
So you're
they don't want you harassing the wildlife. That's
about your dog. You've broken the law.
They can by law do it.
What are you Canadians hiding up there?
That's what we're starting to wonder.
Surveillance. There's something going on.
You're wondering what they're trying to hide. No national parks whatsoever, any type, shape.
Well, yeah, we've got that here. We can't do that.
Yeah.
And any harassing of animals in Colorado will get you hung.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. And even built-up areas, and that's what they call it in the law. So a built-up area could be like a barn, a house, and a shed.
Wow, because we do aerial of our construction in downtown Denver on a monthly basis.
Yeah, see, for that you got to apply for permits, or you got to be bonded by the government. Right. So say we want to do like a wedding, a one-time thing. It's like you have to write a report. You have to say what happens if the winds are such and such. What happens if I become incapacitated to run it? Xenia has to be trained into it. We got to show
like it's easier to be a pilot.
Oh yeah, pretty much. It is about the same as like those model plane pilots.
What's the regulations on paper airplanes? Is it really cool cracking down on their shit?
A little bit easier on them, but not much.
By the way, there's a bit going on in the chat for your shirt.
It has to stay like head height, nothing above 6 feet.
No pointing nose.
Can't use
tape. They went crazy last year, and the Minister of Transport just kind of put out a blanket rule, and he said this is the hold it until we come up with the main ones, but he has no intentions of doing anything else. So I guess we're stuck with it for the time being.
Yeah, they finally lightened up quite a bit here, unless of course you use it for business, and then they're pretty
But personal use, you don't have to have a license anymore. You used to have to have a license.
Well, you used to have a license for personal too.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't as strict as you guys.
Yeah.
So, no, even the American drone shows, when they talk about rules around the world, believe me, we end up #1. I'm so proud of that. Certain things I do notice for, that's not one of them. Hey, Joe says we are hiding a lot of stuff: beavers, deer, kindness, and a 24-pack of beer.
Who said that?
Damn it! Had we known, we'd have come right up.
Hey, Joe and A Life with Ken and Jane, they were bidding on your shirt, by the way. It went great.
Well, thank you.
My shirt.
Oh my God almighty.
You might do a live auction.
Yes, exactly.
Cut my sleeves off, you know.
That bidding's going to be higher, guys.
Okay, come on.
Come on. What did you... Daddy needs a new camera.
It would actually take a few more drinks.
Oh my God.
Speaking of which,
oh my God, I can't even. Thank God we're not drinking.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God.
We're getting ready for a big heat wave here. We're sitting right on the edge. Tomorrow is supposed to be a scorcher, so we got the
What's a scorcher in Montreal? 40?
oh no, like we get the same weather as Miami all summer. We get like in the early hundreds, late 90s, high humidity here.
Brutal.
And then in the winter we get the opposite. Then we get minus 40s in the wintertime. Yeah, we cover both spectrums here.
But we're worried about that 1940s Baltimore. There's supposed to be like thunderstorms coming in, and it's like the only cover there are World War II metal planes.
Oh,
quick, hide under the P-41.
Oh my God! When I get a graphite fishing rod with you.
Yeah, that's it.
It survived the Panzers. It'll survive a lightning storm.
That's not too
much. You're on the tarmac. I mean, you're just
hopefully,
like
my God,
you get some wonderful thunderstorms here in Colorado. Absolutely amazing lightning.
This
time of year, you have to be very careful when you go hiking on the weekends. If you get above the tree line, tree line here is about 10,005, 10,006.
Yeah,
some of our peaks are 14,000, and they take all day to climb.
Yeah.
Yourself above the tree line after noon when a thunderstorm rolls in, you're so screwed.
Yeah.
There's no.
You have to start climbing before the sun comes.
Yeah, 7,
up
8 in the morning to get out of there by noon.
Yeah, if you're not off that mountain by 12 o'clock noon, you're toast.
We have lightning kill quite a few people here every year.
Yeah, I think we lost like 13 people. 13 people were killed in this one lightning strike. They weren't even together. They weren't even standing by each other. It just arced from one person to another.
Yeah. God almighty.
Yeah, it was in Rocky Mountain National Park as well.
Yeah.
You know, they were up above 10,000 feet.
So we get a lot of people from out of town that just, oh, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to start climbing a 14er.
Keep your eye to the sky.
They're not to be played with. It's dangerous. It's not a joke. And people, like you say, the same as like in the Rockies in Alberta and that. Same thing. They're always constantly rescuing people that go and do these things that don't know any better and would take 2 minutes to ask any of the locals, would tell them to stay off of it at that time. But
exactly. If you're not coming down the mountain, they say if you're not coming down the mountain by 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock noon,
Oh, yeah.
You're in trouble.
You're in the danger zone. And that's no joke. When those storms, they come fast. It's not like you got hours to get away from it. They can blow in minutes.
Yes. Yeah, and they do. They definitely do here.
Yeah. Yeah. Weather can be fatal. That's why we like it.
Well, we have a saying here: if you don't like the weather, wait a day. I mean, it changes that quick.
Or 30 minutes.
Or 30 minutes. I mean, literally, you can get up in the morning and it'd be 70 degrees and have a picnic, and then you're shoveling snow by 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
it changes that quick.
The storms do blow in rather quickly.
Yeah. And it melts very quickly here, unlike Montreal. And it dumps a foot of snow.
300 days a year of sun.
Yeah.
We actually have a brewery here in town called 300 Suns.
Well, that's what Xenia was shocked by.
We have 300 sunny days a year.
Well, Xenia couldn't believe that when she came here, because that was the most shocking part, was how it could be, in Celsius, like minus 35, which would be close to minus 40 Fahrenheit, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be so bright and sunny, because over there in Latvia, it's kind of like England, but a bit colder, because their height is about the same as like Edmonton, Alberta. They're pretty high up, but it's not that it's cold, but it's always gray. Like their winters are gray.
Sounds like Seattle.
Yeah, yes, exactly like Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's very depressing. And here it could be like nice sunny day, but yet it's minus 40, And
that's what I told her. When it's a sunny day, be careful. Those are the cold ones because it's too cold to snow. You want a cloudy day because you're going to at least have a decent temperature.
The summers are way too unbearable here. I'm so not used to the humidity.
Yeah, I can't stand humidity. It's actually very dry here.
Yes.
It's actually desert because we're on the east side of the Rockies.
Yes.
So it's it's so dry. We have to have humidifiers in our bedrooms year round.
See, we lived in Saskatchewan for a while. That's where our youngest daughter was born, just above North Dakota. And that's I had been out to the west times, but that was Xenia's first time. Then we were able to go out to BC in those areas, and we went down into North Dakota. I love Montana.
I spent a little time there in the oil field.
Did you?
Yeah, up around Williston.
Yes.
Very close to what's that Canadian city? Is it? I'm probably going to butcher this. It is
Estevan.
S01. I used to listen to a radio station because everything in North Dakota sucked.
Well, that's where our daughter was born, in the hospital in S01.
Oh, okay.
I was driving truck. I worked
from there.
I worked for a big music company, and then it was done, and I went there, and I started driving truck after 11 years, and that's where I went out to. And yeah, it was a nice place. It's definitely, but it's flat. I mean, it's the flattest thing you'll ever see, but something to see though. That was the only province I had never been in before, was Saskatchewan. That was the last one on the list.
Yeah. We almost mistakenly invaded your country once when the whole crew took a wrong turn. Like 30 oil workers and vans and trucks, and they're like, yeah, we're not letting these little lives in here.
Oh God.
Start running the background checks. We knew we were in trouble.
Oh no.
Like, wait a minute, this is Canada? We need to go the other way. It's okay. We're very kind. They let us turn our trucks around. And
some people think there's like a red 6-foot line, like on a map between the two of us. You know, it's very easy to stumble into the other country.
In some areas, it's just a barbed wire fence.
It is. Some places, the house is halfway divided between them. They got half the house in the States and half in Canada.
Really?
Yep.
I worked for a builder out of Seattle, and he was out of Bow, Washington, which I understand sits pretty much right on the border. I never went there.
Never heard of
no, Bow, Canada. I think it was Bow. Yeah. Maybe it was Washington.
Could have been one of those.
He was a Canadian owner, and he bounced back and forth.
There's a house like in Vermont that literally like the tape goes across the house, like, you know, and they show them every year, like on the 6 o'clock news, like the last 2 minutes where they do the light side of the day. They always seem to show that once a year, and it's the same old couple, and they do the same jokes. And, honey, would you get me a cup of Canadian tea, and can I have some American bread? And say, oh, we get it. Your house is divided. Like, get over it.
Somebody was saying in the chat,
Your house is divided.
there's a Quebec library that is the same way.
Yeah, there's a library
divided,
right on the border. So some of the books on the American side, some on the Canadian.
What is it? The Hoover Dam? In Nevada is very confusing because it sits on the border of 2 states and 2 separate time zones.
Yes, that's
Plus
right.
you can get a lot of damn jokes out of it. Like, honey, go get us a damn beer.
Oh my God, I've heard that.
But I'm on the damn tour. I can't.
31 years I've heard
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You walk across the dam, you lose a damn hour.
Yeah.
Come back, you gain a damn hour. We'll stop this now.
We have a bridge that crosses.
If you do make it to Nevada, take the damn tour.
Oh my God, you're so right. Laughing, laughing, and laughing. That's your secret, guys, to staying together so long.
That's too funny. Oh, did you ban? Oh, I'm having trouble saying hi to somebody. I don't know why. As soon as I put their name.
Yeah, no, there's some kind of glitch with there. Sorry, we have a glitch there.
Oh, Bottle Caps is here. Sorry.
Yeah, Bottle Caps is in.
We got time. Sorry about that.
And
hey,
Susie's in. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Susie a while ago. Well, I was enjoying the conversation so much I forgot about the chat. But you guys are such a pleasure. This, oh my God Almighty! I know I had such a good laugh tonight. I needed that. Thank you. You're really great. Oh my God! If we can ever find a way down to Colorado. You're even better than your videos. I didn't know if it was possible, but you are.
Oh my God!
I love it. And if you guys ever find your way to Montreal sometime,
yeah, anytime.
I'm not sure if you'll let me in, but I'll try.
We'll vouch for you this time, I promise.
Okay, good. I'm going to use you for a reference.
All right, you got me. It'll be my pleasure. They might not want to let you back after you come over, so
it may not be a bad thing. We'll see.
We'll put you up on some Quebec food and everything else.
You know, the free medicine sounds great, and you know all the wonderful. Don't they hand out free Valium at the airport there?
They do. They like candy. There, you can make a martini out of Valium.
The Valium Martini.
Ooh, yeah. I think you might have something there. The Valium infused martini. creates
I know a lot of your younger ones like Canada, but especially Quebec, because the drinking age here is 18. So a lot of them would come up here from New York, and that was kind of a big draw for all the strip clubs in Montreal. You get all the American kids coming up for the weekend because they can drink here.
What are you now? Are you 21?
No, 18.
Still 18?
Yeah, forever.
When I was growing up in the South, the drinking age in South Carolina was 17, which caused, of course, a lot of problems when you're a junior, senior in high school and you're able to go pound beers after football games. Lost a few friends that way. I'm actually glad they raised it up, but it was ridiculous. And then you get down into Miami and in Florida in general, they had liquor stores that delivered. Yeah. So when we were kids, we'd have a party. We'd call and order $300 worth of liquor. And when they would show up at the door, do you think they were going to go, "Hey, does anyone have an ID?" Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were just going to take the $300 and leave. They weren't questioning it whatsoever. I got caught one time leaving Kentucky with 666 ounces. I was driving truck, and it was the 22nd of December, and I got caught by the DOT for interstating. Got like a $700 fine. The truck was impounded for 24 hours just before Christmas. Yeah. Holy shit! For what, a 40 ouncer? 66 ounces for 7. There was my cheap alcohol. Holy yeah. The boss wasn't too happy either.
I bet.
Yeah. Resume go out that week. I
tried to make it home for Christmas on top of that. So yeah, that was a good experience.
Yeah. The DOT, they don't take that stuff lightly. That's for sure.
We were all doing it because I mean Canada's a lot more expensive for alcohol than the States, especially the lower southern states. So every time we were down there, everybody, grab me a bottle of this, grab me a bottle of that. And yeah, so you're not even making any money off of it. You're just doing it for friends. So
you go through Lynchburg, Tennessee, make sure you stop at the Jack Daniel's Distillery and pick us up a case there as well.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a dry county, so you can't buy it there.
That's what's so amazing about that, eh? So it's funny how that worked out that way. Still to this day, it's dry.
Yeah, there's still a lot of dry counties in the Bible Belt down south. In Texas, they have a lot of dry counties through Georgia, Alabama. It's amazing. And if it's not a dry county, you can't get a drink on Sunday.
Yeah.
Restaurant and they sell food.
Yeah. Wow. It's amazing, the way that worked out.
Well, the funniest thing I ever saw was in a bar in Texas. I went in, sat out at the bar, ordered a drink, and there was a sign hanging on the wall. And it was a percentage. And it said 49%. Oh. So I called a bartender over and said, "What's that percentage?" He goes, "Well, that's a percentage of food to alcohol that we sell. Since we're below 50%, we're considered a restaurant. You can carry your gun in here." Oh, damn, that was good to know. So I went back out in my truck, got my gun, and ordered some food. It's funny because you would actually walk into other establishments in Texas and it would say 51%. That was considered a bar, and you had to leave your firearm out in the truck.
That is so amazing.
Who knew? Oh, by the way, they don't like it when you carry it into the bank either, but that's a whole other story. We could probably do a whole different episode about that one.
Yeah, that is a story in itself for sure. I was in Scotland the other year, and I went.
My watchdog.
Hey, our neighbors again begging for martinis.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got to get some Valium infused ones for the dog.
Come on.
Oh, he's not going to get up.
Oh my God Almighty!
Watchdog.
Well, it does a good job. Does a good job. You got to give the dog credit.
He's very good at it.
Well, it's always good to have. Oh, I just got to share this because Bottle Caps was asking for it because we're talking about drinks. So, Xenia's favorite picture of the two of us.
No, seriously.
I ask you to put that up.
This is one of our more touching moments together, I guess you would call it.
Nice.
So how much tequila was involved?
Oh my God. It's a mini bar. It was in Amsterdam.
Brandy in that glass? What is that?
That was in Amsterdam, and it was a free mini bar. So before we even went out on Amsterdam, we got into it. Well, I kind of got into it too.
So I have to ask, what's included in a mini bar in Amsterdam? Did they have like little bottles of hashish?
Question, actually.
Yeah.
Did they use the actual names, or did they spell them out in Spanish? Like, does anyone know what the Spanish name for cannabis is?
We had a drink that it cost 20.
It's marijuana.
It's weird there. It's so weird. I know now it's legal in Colorado. It's going to be legal in Canada. But at the time, it was.
God bless your prime minister for that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, Justin, he's on top of that. So it's going to be interesting there. They just started the laws. They had to put it back because some of the provinces want the right to ban people from growing it. And the federal government said they weren't accepting that. So it's gone back on the table for that part. But
Yeah.
There's always a lot of rules and regulations. And we're still trying to hash it out in here in Colorado, and it's been legal for a long time.
oh, jeez.
Yeah, you know, it'll shake out eventually.
But we went to another place actually in Denmark called Christiana. There it used to be legal like Amsterdam, and then they pulled it away. And you walk through and it has these big gates and it says you're now leaving you're leaving Denmark and entering the Republic of Christiana, and they consider themselves like a sovereign nation.
Nice.
And there's like tents everywhere, like military style tents. There's no photographs allowed anywhere. They'll break the camera on you if anybody sees you taking pictures.
Really?
Wow.
And they got it going on everywhere, and it's like this weird park, like it's with the big tents, and it's something else. Yeah, it's something. Amsterdam was interesting, but nobody bats an eye. There, you almost kind of felt like you're going into. It looked like the set from MASH, but it was all about weed and everything else. Like, yeah, it's definitely a strange place for sure.
But did you go into McDonald's?
Yes, of course.
I have to ask if you had the Royale with cheese.
We did.
Not that again.
And we did, and it comes with a nice, instead of pickles, it comes with 2 pieces of cut cucumber.
There you go. He knows what I'm talking about.
We had this in our live stream. Because I was talking about if you put something with champagne, it's a Royale.
Yeah.
And he brought that up, and I didn't know what he was
And I
talking
said, well, you know what you call a quarter pounder with cheese? And he said quarter pounder with cheese. I said, no, you're on the metric system.
That's right. That's why it doesn't exist.
Royale with cheese. Pulp Fiction fan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and you're right, but it is, yeah. That's
Yeah.
What they call Big Mac. I don't know how they can go into Burger King.
The one thing is, a lot of the European ones, you actually can get chicken wings there.
Daughter's walking
Yeah.
in and she's shaking her head.
And in Latvia, because a lot of, like in the States, the same as provinces here, they have their specialty McDonald's thing. Like in Eastern Canada, it's the McLobster, and then it's the McRib in the West. There they have broccoli with cheese, grilled,
Yeah, broccoli,
like
cheese
deep fried.
bits.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they have it. Yeah.
I thought the mayo on the French fries was bizarre. We got
Yeah,
that.
no.
Oh, that's the best.
That's
thing
the best
ever.
part. I gotta say
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Tartar sauce.
in
Tartar
it.
sauce on French fries in Seattle.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
tartar. Whenever I have fish and chips, I always save a bit of the tartar sauce. If there's any left, that's for the last of the fries. Sorry, I didn't mean
I think
to.
if you don't get the McRib up there, that's probably an American thing. How the
Yeah,
hell?
the McRib. Yep, the only McRibs in the. We used to get it all over. Now I think it's mostly in the West they get it, and we get the McLobster.
Lobster.
Fresh out of Maine.
It's chunks of lobster in like a roll bun, like with lettuce and that. And everything.
And it's real lobster.
It is real lobster, actually.
Really?
Hey, hey, man, you think you could like FedEx one of those down there? And I tell you what, I'll do for you. I'll get you an In-N-Out burger. So I got some connections in the Southwest, California, Nevada.
Oh,
You've never had an In-N-Out burger.
I have.
It'd be a good spot for me, lobster.
I love In-N-Out Burger. I gotta say, you'll probably now want to hang up with me when I say it. I do have a soft spot for the Carl Jr. burger.
Yeah, we got one across the street.
Oh, you're killing me. Now you're killing me. I used to go there for trade shows all the time, and that was my one secret thing. I go, and I'd always catch them when they closed, so I'd have to walk in through the drive-through between 2 cars to get my burger and go back to my hotel.
They never let me do that. Last time I had to steal a car to get through the drive-through to get a hamburger. It was crazy.
We were at my nephew's wedding, and so we came back. We've been drinking all night. It was like I had to have food, so I sent him to Burger King or something like that.
Yeah, in Santa Monica, California. No, it was Del Taco.
It was Del
The only thing
Taco.
open at 2 in the morning, right? you're gonna eat, you may as well pay for it.
That's right.
He walks down there and they won't let him in because it's locked, and all it's open is the drive-through. So he walks up to the drive-through. They won't sell to him. So he has to walk all the way back, get the car, because he knew he wasn't going to come back and not bring me tacos.
And I'm like, you guys are killing me. You're going to make me drive a block intoxicated so I can sit through your drive-through to get a burger. Oh, wait a minute. They don't have burgers. Del Taco. God, they're terrible. They're in America. They don't even carry hamburgers.
Even think coming back here without a taco.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
When I was pregnant with our oldest daughter, I made him go out in a blizzard to get me an eclair at like 10 o'clock at night.
So we live in this mountain resort, right? We're up in the middle of nowhere. It's snowing. And she wants an eclair. And it's like, what the hell's an eclair? And where do I get one? Do I have to like heist a bakery in the middle of the night or what?
And he couldn't find an eclair. And
I jacked a Dunkin' Donut.
I had that craving for like 2 days until you put an eclair in front of me. I was bedridden. I was pregnant and I was bedridden. So it was like it was up to him to find that eclair.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the chicken we had in Riga.
Yeah.
Southern fried chicken in the middle of Latvia. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. Why not?
Where were you?
In Latvia, where Xenia's from,
the
city of Riga. They had this place called Southern Fried Chicken. I found out later on it's a company based out of England. And it's one of those mall kiosks. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see what these are like. So there was the different meals. I ordered the 3-piece. They don't do like us in North America where they like grow them and kill them and eat them within 3 weeks. These are actually full-grown chickens. Mm-hmm. So he gives me the box and it's like, poof. And I'm like, what in the hell did they put in this thing? And I look in and it's these gigantic drumsticks. They're almost like 3/4 of a turkey. Full-grown, like grain-fed chickens. I was so stuffed looking here, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with the third leg? You know, like the box shocked me when I held it. You know, because he put it in my hand, just like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
Now, were they serving roosters or hens?
Yeah, exactly. I think I got 2 roosters out of that one.
Well, you know, there's no better food than the gas stations in Williston, North Dakota. So, you know, if you find one that actually serves sushi, you really need to go for it because you haven't experienced sushi until you've eaten like a come and go in Williston, North Dakota. So.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
Hey, after 3 days in the oil field, you'll eat anything.
Oh yeah, and that's anything. That fits.
That's the best stale corn dog I've ever had in my life.
No, what's funnier is a come and go. Who the heck? Who came up with the marketing name?
You come and you go.
And it's spelled
Oh my God, that's so
K-U-M. And they're all over.
Man, those things are like Denny's up north. I'm telling you. You walk in, they got
oh my God.
Pizza, they got hot dogs, and
everything that's coming and going.
Go.
Come and go sushi.
And I'm like you, like who was sitting there and said, you know what, I got a great idea for this company. And then the 2 others said, yeah, I like it. Let's run with that.
Well, you know, and if you're ever in Texas, you can stop at a Love's truck stop and eat a Subway sandwich. What a combination. Who thought of that shit?
No, my favorite is the town in Washington. Tillicum. Till I come.
Oh, if you've ever driven down the 25 freeway, no, the 5 freeway, excuse me, it can be quite confusing.
Oh my God!
I hear they have a tribe of Native Americans there as well. A tribe up, but
yeah, the telecoms.
Oh my God! Oh my.
It was so fun because we lived in Washington State for many years, and so we'd always go up to Seattle. And every time we passed that sign, Pat and I would start cracking up. And we have these 2 young girls, our kids, in the back seat. And they were like, "Why does Mom and Dad always laugh when we're in this town?"
Well, you know, they were totem pole builders, so we won't.
Oh my God! when you said that, I was looking it up, and they have the 10 strangest names in Canada, crudest names in Canada. Well, Redheaded Cove, but then there's Balls Falls, Ontario.
Hey, that sounds like a place I want to go.
There's Crotch Lake, Ontario. There's a Dildo, Newfoundland. I've heard of that. Was the one I was looking for. Climax, Saskatchewan. Yeah. And I kid you not, I remember this argument. There's a place in Ontario that's called Swastika, Ontario. Can you imagine having to write that on your envelopes? That was the big fight. Remember the TV show we were watching about it?
Yeah,
like the town is divided. Half of them want to keep it and half want to get rid of it. And it's like, how do you want to keep something like that?
What comes up with these names?
I know. And put a gavel down and said, that's it. We're being called Swastika.
We got a great penal system there.
And this day and age, the place to keep it. I'm not racist, but I really still want our town to be called Swastika.
No wonder why my girls talk like sailors.
They're son of a sailor.
You guys are phenomenal. I love it. I realized we kept you guys about an hour over the time we were supposed to.
Yes, sorry.
Sorry, I had a couple drinks. I didn't notice.
Is anybody still in the chat?
Oh, yeah. There's some there.
It's just a party with the Knowleses.
Well, yeah. We could definitely wrap this up.
Yeah, guys, it has been such a pleasure hanging with you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for your patience at the beginning with switching over the streams and all that. This has been absolutely phenomenal. We got to do this again sometime.
Definitely.
We would love it. We had fun.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Once you guys get streaming, if you ever take on guests, we would be happy to join you guys someday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Great idea.
We would love it.
We'll pick up some maple. They're making, I think, now maple syrup infused vodka. Maybe we can have something with that.
Yeah, that would be.
Things.
Nothing more Canadian than that.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
As on the nose as it can be, I guess. So.
Thank you so much again, and be safe in that 1940s party there.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll try not to crash any Jeeps.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
sailor girl and 1940s army guy get killed by a lightning strike under a B-52.
Back to the Future. They thought they will think that
while listening to Frank Sinatra music. Yeah.
Swing dancing.
We're looking forward to the video. That's gonna be so awesome to see. But don't take too long to get it posted because we'll be biting at the bit to see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Well,
thank you so much.
And bye,
have a great night.
In the chat.
You guys are a mod.
Cheers.
Take care. All the best. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God, they were so great. Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, oh my God,
my
they
jaw
are
hurts.
amazing. Yeah. I can only imagine their parties are probably like the
4 hours into it on their deck, in Colorado like that. Oh my God, am I having
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I would want to live in their neighborhood. My goodness. Thank you. That was amazing.
Sorry, I just seen Torino wrote, my mom used to call margaritas margatunis after two of them. Oh my God, I'm waiting. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, that was funny. Oh, jeez. Oh, that was good. Yeah, that server tonight. So anybody who's here that was from the beginning, thank you so much for your patience. That's just sometimes how the servers go here. We can't win them all, but we got through it. So thank you so much for switching over. We'll have to go back and fix that video after, copy all the tags.
Yeah, we'll do that once it's uploaded.
Yeah.
Don't want to fiddle with it while it's in the process.
Not touching it, not looking at it.
Yeah, so if you missed any recipes of amazing cocktails that they were making, you can go back after when our stream is uploaded afterwards.
Yep.
Anytime, any of our shows is always available on our channel. So go check it out and definitely check out their website. Their book is coming up in July. So check it out. and their various Twitter and Instagram channels as well. That's really fun. I'm really looking forward to the book too. I can only imagine the bits and pieces of jokes and history are going to be in there. There's a link to their website as well.
Urban to pay tourists, look a few, and that's true. I've heard of those ones before. Well, passing through, I haven't been to them, but I've seen them. I heard of them passing through. Yeah, in Pennsylvania, you go down the road and your towns named Blue Ball and Orgasm, and that I know. In Pennsylvania, I think it's some of the craziest ones in all of the states.
Yeah, there's a family, the Ha Ha.
Yeah, that's another one too. I forget about in Quebec. It's called S01 Ha Ha. It's just close to the New Brunswick border. And it's actually based on an English. They've traced it back. The most they can guess is it came from an English name, actually.
Somebody that just had a joke.
Yeah.
And wrote it down.
Yeah. Well, Quebec. Everything in Quebec is Saint. This is Saint that. So it shows you how much they were running out of saints.
Another St. Louis Ha Ha, and somebody wrote it down.
That's right. That's right. And there's a Peterbilt dealer there.
Yeah, we oftentimes drive through it.
There's the sign. And that's, so there you go. There's the actual town, Saint Louis de Ha Ha. Oh. And they do even keep the exclamation marks, as you can see in the street sign. And the highway sign. And there's not much else there besides their name. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Custom Carts, and Irvin and Benjamin and everybody in the woods. They were a lot of fun. I need in the woods of Wolfie. I need a second still if I live near those guys. Oh, jeez, that's funny. Tell everybody the Amsterdam story. He really wants to get the Krishnagovs going tonight.
Okay, good night from me for now, and Andrew's gonna stay tuned with you guys with a
no, it's okay. I won't
story
tell
of
the
Miss
story.
Pusa getting in trouble in Amsterdam. Would you like to hear it?
Well, I was there right with you. It's not just you.
Yeah, but surprisingly, you're talking about me in that story.
Well, I'm the one who couldn't remember where the hotels, what the hotel's name was.
Yeah, and that's why Bottle Caps wants to hear it. Yeah, that's exactly why.
I don't know. I think we both look equally good into it, as the picture is shown. She doesn't like that picture. I don't know why. I think it's a great memory.
Yeah, why don't you put it on? Let everybody say their piece, you know? Let's see. It hasn't been the second, first, third, or fifth time we all see it.
We look good in it, I find.
Out of all the pictures that we have, it's probably the one that comes on the most. So
that's true.
Of course.
It's hard to argue with that one. Maybe we should have used it for the Pusa logo instead. Have that picture with our names beside it.
Yeah, that also sounds good.
Never thought of that one. Well, look, the story touched people. Bottle Caps is pretty attached to it. So,
no, he just likes that. He can have something to pull over me, so to say. But I don't know. That counts. I doubt that.
He does it out of love.
He does everything out of love.
Well, he does. Okay, then we'll do this.
Tweaking. I was tweaking. What is the word tweaking?
Tweaking with girls. Do you know that?
I don't do that. I never did that then, and I don't do that in general.
Oh, Bottle Caps.
Yes.
Oh, I think he means tweaking, like freaking out. I think he means that way. He's using the older expression of it. I didn't know it said it at the time.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah. She was tweaking.
Just the tweaking part, apparently.
But she wasn't tweaking per se. She was yeah, I think twerking. Yeah, we're saying tweaking because I didn't look at it till now. Yeah, it's twerking. And Andrew said you did. Oh, he wrote
no
tweak it.
R in
Oh, okay.
tweaking.
Now I see what. Okay, because I was okay.
I read the way he wrote it. There was no R in it.
I wasn't looking at it. That's why I couldn't see it at the time. Now I'm getting all caught up. Yeah, I know custom carts. The 69th one. I forgot to tell them they were lucky. That's what I was saying today in the winging it. I didn't realize I said I'm like no, I was in Midnight Ravens. I was telling them, I said, you know, I was just getting the promo video ready, and I realized tonight our guest is the 69th one. And I said I'm a 40-some-year-old going on 14 because I can't stop laughing while I'm doing this because it's a big 69 beside it. But if she's still good at twerking, let's see.
Still?
It just sounds like you're 90. Well, here you go, boys. Oh, God. This is not my favorite number.
Yes, unapologetically. All Caps was doing it, so you missed that part.
Jesus. All right. Here's a condensed version. We ended up in Amsterdam with no plans. There was a free mini bar. I got into it. You drank a bit, but I drank pretty much everything, I gotta say. So I'll take that first part right away. That's on me. I was loaded. And we were tired. We had a lot going on. And and this was after the mini bar. This is before I went out. And it was a very cool place, 400-year-old port, the building that was turned into a 4-star boutique hotel. Weird bubble window doors that you had to swing open to get into the elevator. And the elevators, there was like 5 of them that all went to different parts of it. So if you're on the 3rd floor, you might have to take 3 different elevators to find the right one to go to your room. So we went out that night, and we ended up getting into drinking more, and then we got she looks so messed up. Thanks, bottle caps. You're helping my night a lot. So we got a couple of shots made from the coca leaf that cost like 22 euros, which was insanely expensive. And then we ended up buying some weed there. And as soon as I went, there were some rolled ones. I said, oh, great, because we don't smoke anymore. They'll be easier. She said, that's really intense stuff. And no more than she said it. 2 guys jumped. We heard a squeal of air brakes, and 2 guys off the back of a garbage truck came in, bought some, and left and started smoking them when they went to finish their run. And yeah, so we bought the weed, went back to the table, had another drink, lit some, smoked half of it in the bar. And then Xenia said she was finding it hot. I was too, so I said we'll go out. And I decided to be big man and smoke the rest of it going out. And then we got in a cab, and we had just been in Spain. And the cab driver asked us where we're going, and I said, take me to the Grand Marina. I think Xenia was sitting like this, and she was kind of tilting her head like that, back and forth. And she goes, he doesn't know where he's going. He's just driving around. And I'm like, you're freaking me out, you know, like you got to slow down, you got to calm. And then she goes, you're just faking it. You don't feel anything. And I'm like, oh, please don't have a relationship fight with me tonight. I thought that's what she was talking about, feeling. Then I realized she thought I was faking, that I was stoned, which could have been any further from the truth because my heart was beating against my chest like a bass drum. So then the guy said, well, where do you got to go? And I said, I told you, take us to Grand Marina. And he looked annoyed, but didn't say anything. And then he's driving more and more. And then finally, the last thing he goes, listen, we can't keep doing this. Where are you going? And I said, take me to the Grand Marina. And as soon as I said, I'm like, oh, shit, that's where we stayed in Barcelona. What the hell is the name of the hotel tonight we're at? And I couldn't remember our hotel name. So the cab driver just keeps driving us around over and over and over, trying to figure out where the hell we want to go. And I'm like, well, take us to the big gray building. It's an old port turned into a hotel. And he's like, well, that's half the hotels here. So we went a bit more. And then finally I realized I had the key card in my wallet. So I grabbed it and I threw it at the cab driver. And I'm like, take us there. Because we had a flight the next morning at 7 o'clock out of Sheffield. So it's probably about 1:30 in the morning. We get to the hotel and she decides to buy a big falafel sandwich because that's all you can get from a vendor. And it takes us so long to find our room with those confusing elevators I was telling you about that this time we couldn't even find a room and had to go to the bellhop. And I'm like, just get me to my goddamn room. I had enough of this. I want to go to bed. And sends us up with a bellhop who kind of babysits us the whole way up and like watches us put the key card in the door. We walk inside and I can even see his eyes as I'm closing it. So now I'm in and I finally just lay down the bed. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy the last part of this since I'm in and I'm good. And Xenia's sitting in front of the TV for some ungodly reason to this day. I don't know why, but she's like about 5 inches from it. And all you can see is the glare of the TV coming out the side of her head. It's like an old Pink Floyd video. And she's eating the falafel sandwich, but she won't bend her elbows or anything. And she's like, da, 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 da. And it seems like it takes like an hour for her to eat the sandwich, and the glow of the TV's flying by her head. And I'm laying in the bed thinking this is like the most interesting thing I've ever watched in my entire life. And that was the conclusion of our trip to one night in Amsterdam. Can I smoke some on stage and forgot all the words to the song I wrote in front of hundreds of people? Yeah, that's always fun. Reflections of the Falafel. Yeah, that'd be a good title for the whole story. So you're back. Guess what? The camera moves. You can't outrun the camera.
Why don't we start our live streams like with this story?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And guess what? What they did in Amsterdam. My wife, look at this picture. That's taken before.
I'll bring it back. By the way, Ken said you look good in it, so.
Every time she goes to Amsterdam, that's how she looks before.
At least you got eyes. I got no eyes. My eyes are gone at that point. I got no eyes. I'm just in the moment. Remember the
And the rickshaw just kept saying, I'll just bring you to the girls.
Oh, yeah, the rickshaw. Okay. The rickshaw guy, when we left the hotel, we got a rickshaw guy, bicycle rickshaw. They're all over the place. Ends up, the guy was from Poland. And he picks us up. And there's Xenia and I there. Like, she gets on with me and everything. And he starts driving. And so, you know, usually you'd figure there's a woman there, you wouldn't say something like that. And he turns around and he goes, oh, you're going to look for some chicks, eh? Ah, and he's got the arm going, and I'm like, what? He goes, oh, you want to go find some chicks tonight? Ah, I'm going to take you to the place where you can find the hottest chicks. And I'm not taking, he said like the F word like 500 times. And Xenia's sitting there right beside me, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's see where this all goes. And he's ripping us off royally. He's driving. We've circled the red light district like 5 times, but he's so entertaining. I just don't want to let him go. But you got a good tip out of it too for that. He was the perfect rickshaw driver.
See, Ben thinks I looked festive. I love that.
How come women are always given that treatment? And I look like Death Wormed over. And I do. And Xenia doesn't like it because I've used this on our personal Facebook page as a profile.
Well, now
picture.
it's on YouTube a couple times already. It has been on the podcast talked about and showed the picture multiple times on our live stream. So that's even worse than putting it as a profile pic on Facebook. So I don't know where else. You could submit it to like CTV as a pick of the day or something like that.
Maybe we'll get on the Good Morning Show with it.
Yeah.
Stand outside holding it outside the window like a realtor will hold the picture.
Push's Adventures.
Yes, that's right.
What to do in Amsterdam.
That could be our Where Waldo, wherever we travel. We
planning your summer vacation. Let's go to Amsterdam. Look how they experience their travel to Amsterdam. 12 hours and you'll never forget it. Or your husband won't let it.
Attack of the Minibar, I called this one.
It's not on IG because I haven't posted it because I only post on IG, Ben. So that's why. Yet. Gosh.
Oh my God almighty. Yeah. Good fun, good times. You know?
Yeah, see life with Ken and Benjamin said I look good. So
of course, I know that. I know they're going to say that. I knew that already. There, see, that's what we look like when we're in Europe and not tanked. Was it the same time? But
no, it was next year.
Yeah, our wedding.
Yeah,
or our honeymoon.
Honeymoon. Yeah. Sounds like an awesome place to go. Yeah. Well, we have stories from each of the places like that. So tune, still, keep up with us, and there's gonna be more to come as we unfold our transparent and honest Puša Studios.
That's right.
Couldn't be more transparent.
We're bearing all, my friends. We're bearing all. Oh my God, almighty. Oh, you're here, Colorado. You just in time for you caught the story? Thank you so much again for tonight. You guys were awesome. Sorry we went over the time. I apologize for that.
Down the rabbit, you're going London, UK or London, Ontario?
And when you're in Amsterdam, like the red light district in the day, you would never even know you're walking through it. It's amazing how we walked through part of it, didn't even realize it through the day, and then went back at night. And it's like we thought we were a ways away from it, and we were like a hop, skip, and a jump over a canal from it.
Yeah, no, it just transforms completely at night. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting to see. Yeah, we're all like family here. Well, yes, you guys in the chat for sure, but I don't know who are all the rest of hundreds of people that are watching it. So.
Who said we're like family?
Ben, and you are, guys, but the problem is it's not a closed chat or stream. But too late for that now, so.
Oh, that's nice of you to say, in the woods with Wolfie. Yeah, they were great. They were really fun. We had a great time.
Oh, UK. Oh, cool. Oh, the Chamley Fannel show.
What?
And UK where is the Japanese lifestyle from in UK?
It's about 30 minutes outside of London.
Yeah, so Chamley Fannel show that was on our guests, and Japanese lifestyle in UK. They are in around London.
Yep.
I don't know what you're doing there in London, but if you need a guide,
yeah, that's right.
Maybe you could get in touch with them. I'm sure they would be happy. We're all family here, as Ben said. That's what I like about this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you don't meet them tonight. If we're ever in the Colorado area, it'd be so nice to connect with them. And
yeah,
stuff
exactly.
Like that. So many of you guys now, the more you get to know from so many different cities and countries. I mean, you know, if you ever in that way, that's so cool. Or they're your way.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I just didn't know what your reason is. That's good.
Yeah, there must probably live down around where your cousin lives in Southport.
Yeah, we were talking with Donnie show that he's the closest one if we go to Southport, because he's between Leeds and York. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's a good way
from Southport. I showed him where and he said it's an hour and a half from him. So
yeah, it wasn't very far. Like even when I was down there, remember that day I was trying to decide should I run down and see Stonehenge or not?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see Excalibur. That was the main reason. Like was Stonehenge. I wanted to see where Excalibur. Was kind of.
But if we ever go to UK, then we can connect with him there.
Oh, definitely. I'd like to travel all up to that way, running, getting to see some of them that we follow.
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to UK because I want to see London.
Oh, I know.
Excuse me, guys and girls.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end it pretty soon. And Xenia's had a long, long day. She's been a trooper about it. And tomorrow night we have an amazing guest who has saved our bacon because we had a cancellation. Life with Ken and Jane, and they just got back. They were in the middle of nowhere in Oregon, no cell phone connection or nothing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have them live from their trailer.
And that's gonna be some stories. You already heard some of it, smoking weed on the stage today. So there's gonna be some stories tomorrow about his musician life.
He bored bottle caps now. He's upset that you're going off.
And different, I don't know why he's upset. I'm not really sure. So there's going to be lots of stories tomorrow about the past, the present, and the future. I fingers crossed they can connect.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's good. So cool.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Well, there was good connection last night.
Yes, but they changed. Now they are using their own connection. They also are using a different Twitter, and there's a whole bunch of different algorithms now that I'm a bit worried about. But
we'll try tomorrow. Then we'll try and do a dry run.
Yeah, well, that's what I was suggesting, and that's why they set up the Twitter where he's dancing because I thought it's a troll. So Ken decided to dance to show me that they're not trolls. Oh my God, they're so hilarious. I think our jaws are gonna be completely locked after tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, it's gonna be lots of flaps too. So get ready for the long night tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah.
So we'll get in touch with you guys then either in the morning or sometime, and we'll try a run just to make sure everything is good.
Yeah.
We'll knock out any kinks, so it gives us time. And Benjamin, I hope you can make it, but that baby comes first. We understand completely. So
yeah,
that's still such an amazing picture. We've gone back and looked at it a couple of times.
Yes, I dropped in for a second, just to give some time, watch time, and so to say. I always usually try to put likes on the streams of people I know, at least, even if we can't stay. And I seen you guys were talking about trolls, but I guess I just missed them. So good thing I guess you booted them all out. So that's good.
That is good. And that's, it's not fun when that starts. That's for sure. Not fun at all. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Oh my God, the craft beer pours that night was the worst. 151 dislikes. There was 80 some people in the channel at one time. They even got into the live stream. They came on. Remember, one said he wanted to eat her skin.
Yeah. It's peel. Oh my God.
I would have peeled your skin and eat it.
Oh, that was terrible. By the way, Balkovs, did you win yesterday? How was your luck?
And Benjamin, you're so welcome.
Yeah, thank you tonight. Thank you for great questions. Loved it. You always have great ideas for questions.
Yes, that is true. You really do bring great questions. Very engaging questions. Yeah, it happens fast when it comes in. It's like a swarm, eh? That's what happens. Well, it's just one of those things. We always forget, guys. We don't pay anything to be on here, so we don't have any contracts signed. So we're kind of at the beck and call of what goes on YouTube. So that's part of it. Not much can be done. Just deal with it when it happens and then move on. And yes, definitely Ken will do a dry run for sure. Like I say, we'll message you. Either we'll see what's going on with the kids in the morning and that. We shouldn't be very long. I'd rather do it though earlier in the day. So if there is any kinks, we can work it out. If that's all right with you guys. I know there's a time difference. So I don't know. Maybe for around noon here this time or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So we're going to message you when it's time. So just keep an eye on to it.
They confused me completely today with two different Twitters. It was like, oh my God.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Oh, you got to go and check
that video. That clip in the video said, my God, she was roaring. She could barely even tell me what it was about.
I got to retweet it. I hope, Ken, you don't mind. I got to retweet the one you dancing because I just couldn't stop laughing when I seen it today. I'm like, oh my God. This is the way to prove that you're not troll.
Amazing. I loved it.
Just so looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh no, guys. We get what we pay for, Flip and Epic. That's 100% right. And that's not like trying to crap on YouTube or anything. It's just the way it is. It's a free platform. So it's not like we have contracts that can stop the trolls from coming in or stuff like that. We just got to roll with the punches and,
Oh, no problem. Well, you were saying that you have live streams, so we checked it in.
And guys, you're new to us and stuff like that. If there's a video or something like that you're doing, you really want us to see, please send us a tweet about it, or because it's impossible to catch everything, but we definitely try our best. So if something we haven't seen or commented, don't be shy to send it to us. And if we haven't answered after a while, send it again or ask us.
Yeah, and I try to retweet it as well. Sometimes not right away. If I know it would work better for a different time, I schedule it for later. Like I have some for tomorrow, for example, from today.
So don't be afraid if it's not retweeted right away.
I forgot to check.
But yeah, if you have something, send it to us.
Just 1 second. I forgot to see where we're at.
Almost.
Yeah, we're 6 away. Here, I want to share this with you guys. I'll tell you. Actually, just give me a second. Just give me one second here.
Just give me the ring.
Just another. I got that song. I was in the grocery store and that was playing. It was in my head for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of her, so I was really happy to have it there.
He was trying to be ironic there. I was listening to Lindsay Sterling today.
We just went back, so yeah, we're missing 6 now instead of
somebody unsubscribed. Probably didn't like my singing.
Oh,
I don't really. Oh my goodness.
So probably by sometime through the night or tomorrow, we should hit 1,700. So I can't believe it after.
Yeah, this 100 went pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's funny how it works. It plateaus for a while, then it jumps very quickly, and then it plateaus again.
Well, yeah, a couple of days ago we were at 1,630, and then it just went nuts again. Like, you know, every day it was getting more, and it's amazing how it grows. It's a funny thing, YouTube. You know, like, look at us when we started. We didn't think we'd have the minutes. Wasn't worth it. So we said, we'll just do the subs just so we have something.
I can definitely tell you that, and I mean, in the summer, we're probably going to have a little bit more spotty schedule with our live streams, just because of the traveling and not available internet at every place that we're planning to go to. But I'm really excited to get back to it full time back in September again.
Yes.
Afterwards, because you know, we have established some base and we have already some people in plans and you know, and some ideas as well what to do with it. So it's kind of really exciting, you know, to come back to it afterwards again. To the full schedule as when we restarted again in September. And don't worry, we're gonna still be here, just probably not as a regular schedule through July.
And you know, as a side note, just show you how YouTube works sometimes. And it does happen. I mean, I'm not the tinfoil hat kind of guy. I'm usually the complete opposite of it. But it is a logical explanation. Like when we went on, it dropped. Now I went and checked just before I brought it up. It was showing 1696. It was showing 1695 in the main one. And then it dropped to 4. And that shows you sometimes when people are lurking, and that's been known before to do that, is to sit there and then hit the unsubscribe button. And play with the numbers. And it just shows you like some people how they just like pitiful.
Well, some people just don't have life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what's with Wolfie? You have that all the time. Ours is just and I mean, I love you guys, but I think I just also like to get off the grid for a second.
I'm so glad he's on it because I was laughing at that today. We just were talking it a while ago. I'm glad it means a lot to him.
Yeah, we could pretend that we counted it out and we did
That's right.
But, yeah. Oh, hello.
Hi, how
welcome
are you?
back. Be back.
Good to see you. How are you? Welcome. We're just about to log off pretty soon, so we were just kind of doing the last goodbyes and everything else and all that. But we have Life with Ken and Jane tomorrow night, and that should be a really, really great watch. So.
And we haven't checked patience.
Yes, please with us, because it's nothing. We do want to check it out. It's not that we don't want to. It's just honestly trying to find enough hours in the day. This live stream is easily 30 some hours a week. On top of the work we have to do, plus kids, plus everything else that's running. It's way more work than, not that we don't love it. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it's there's a lot goes on behind the scenes.
I think it's the same as with everybody. Like with everything else that we start doing differently. Like when we started like business with photography and videography, I never thought that there's so much behind the scenes work for being a photographer. Probably taking pictures
is
like 10% of what I do in doing business, like in photography. And that's crazy and sometimes overwhelming, because really you end up doing less of
why you went into it.
Yeah.
But I think it's with all of it. It's like that. Really, so much other stuff that has to be done in order to make it happen.
Because you love what you're doing, so it's one of the few things where you don't look at the big picture right away. But it's still been good to us, and you guys have been amazing to us. So,
yeah,
like I say, not complaining, not anything.
No.
It's gonna feel so weird when we take the holiday time.
Yes.
Not doing it.
Definitely.
That's what's gonna be a big adjustment. So that's gonna be. Well, bottle caps. We don't want to keep you
Good
awake.
night, bottle caps.
Yeah.
And
we don't want to keep you up. So
thank you, Vivek. Thank you so much.
I know we're boring you. Sorry. Why don't you come on sometime? I would love that before we go on vacation. We only got like, I don't know, 2 or 3 spots left, maybe. That would be great. Why don't you come on as a guest?
You're sweet.
That's nice of you to say.
Just remember to come back after when we do resume our schedule.
Vivek said, I'm good. You both are looking amazing. You are the kindest person that God ever created. She looks amazing all the time. I look like I was run over by Bottle Cap's car that he was performing with doing the burnout today.
Good thing it was a customer's car. I'm sure customer appreciated that.
Yeah, the tractor control puts an end to that pretty easily. There's no way to switch it off. Some you can, some you can't, of course. So. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. You guys take care of yourselves.
Yeah, tune in tomorrow. Ken and Jane is going to be on talking all their stories about their recent decision to travel for 6 months, and also about their crazy life.
Donnie Polynesian and Bottle and me were going to start a live stream. Well, there you go. If you're ready to go on one, why don't you come on? You've been with us since the beginning. Be our guest. I would love that. That would make me the happiest person in the world if you'd come on as a guest. And Krishna,
I promise to put away my Kalashnikov if you come on. No, I really would like to talk with you.
Yes.
So much experience and
hear about your days working as a paramedic and all that stuff. All the stories you got. Talk about your divorce for a while. You seem quite open to discuss it, so why not?
Tips about
exactly
how not to get married.
Yeah, the threesome, I'd seen that in the chat when you were talking about that.
Night, Irvin.
Anyway, guys, have a great night. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night. Cheers to keep creating, guys. Take care.